Captain's Log. Stardate June 18th, 2021. Coming at you live from Ruckersville, Virginia.
You what?
Is anyone going to say something, or this is just me
Hey.
now?
I was waiting for you to finish.
I thought there was like a punchline.
Yeah.
I finished.
No, this
Well,
is
then
just
you're
how it
gonna
opens
say
up the
this
podcast.
No, I finished. I have my Fanta. I'm ready to consume it. You know, I think I'm good to go.
I'm gonna take a piss.
Okay. Welcome to the Weskerocity podcast. Thank you very much for joining us today. Whoever just went to take a piss is Vice. I'm WeskerPawnch. This is Brandon.
Hello.
And this is Gay Robot.
I think I'm gonna go hold his hand real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, Brandon, while they're holding hands, my hand's getting kind of cold too. I think I could use, some.
Yeah, here's this lit candle.
Yeah. Just,
Already gonna be a fucking editing nightmare.
drip the wax onto my hand and heat it up a little.
Yeah, it's since
that's
it's berry.
Ooh, ooh.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
It's gonna be one of those nights. I'm just waiting for Vice.
You didn't have to put all these flower petals scattered everywhere. You know, somebody has to pick those up, right?
No. No one picks those up. They're just left there and they biodegrade. Over
Yeah,
time.
just let the dog eat them.
Yeah, the dog will eat them. Yeah, and the dog will pass it back onto the ground where someone else picked them up.
It's the circle of life.
All right, let's see what we got on the plate today, boys. Okay, so first I want to get out of the way something that probably only I really care about. Just rest in peace, Kentaro Miura. He, since last podcast was recorded, he unfortunately passed away, and Berserk was never finished. I mean, his publisher may take up the mantle and continue doing work on it, but fortunately, it's didn't really get finished, as far as I'm concerned. God, now I'm talking like Chris Chan.
Yeah, I'll remember him fondly from what I could kind of gather was supposed to be very, very good from that 2016 anime I watched all of.
Yes, you'll remember him fondly from the excellent anime you watched, Berserk 2016.
I never got to play Berserk, but I never got to read Berserk, but I did enjoy playing the games.
Yeah, all 7 of them.
Yeah. I only recently the last one I played was Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, and they're
How's
coming
it
out with a new Berserk game in a bit.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
They showed a trailer at it at E3. And that's something we have on our plate today is E3 news because...
Wait, did they?
Yeah, they showed an Elden Ring trailer.
Oh, how did I miss that?
I thought you just didn't care.
I guess I didn't care so hard I didn't even see it.
I think you'll be more into it. It's got character customization and
Oh, cool.
multiplayer. It's pretty much it's literally Dark Souls with horses every once in a while.
I mean, it's Kojima. He'll only make one game.
Yeah, and it's actually hilarious how Dark Souls this is, but I'll get into that later with that trend. But where do you guys want to start with E3 exactly? You guys want to start with Ubisoft? Ubi Booby?
Yeah, let's go down the list of the stream.
Fuck these guys! I have nothing. I have nothing to say about everybody.
I have a lot to say about Boobisoft.
I've got very
do
little to
too.
say. I was busy during E3.
Actually,
Go
got
ahead,
fucking
Vice.
notes here on Ubi shit.
Yeah, let me
Excellent.
pull up the list. Buckle up, kids. This is gonna be a very monotonous ride because I'm pretty much gonna say the same thing at every conference.
Yep. So from what I've heard, it was pretty much what I expected it to be. Ubisoft was a bunch of generic third-person urban shooters, right?
First.
They just can't quit. They don't stop. They keep making the same games. Urban shooters, Assassin's Creed, Just Dance. At least Just Dance is kind of fun. I mean, at least you know what to expect. It's not like they're going to blow you off your feet with some kind of new rally mechanic or whatever.
Are they still
Okay.
doing the presentations with Just Dance?
Oh, there's
I mean-
one thing. I think this is the first Just Dance game that's not also coming to Wii.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
The Wii is finally dead.
Rest in peace, Wii.
But I mean, that was limited by our good friend Kahuna Virus.
What, the Wii?
No, the Just Dance presentations.
Oh, right. Because
Just,
everyone's
you
up
know.
close and, grinding on each other like an old school dance.
Yeah.
I do feel it's important to go ahead and get the positives out of the way because there are so few of them, so we can just run through these.
Yeah.
Oh
For
my
me,
god.
Already done?
I-
Okay, good.
I really enjoyed the I'm definitely looking forward to this. It was like a fucking sports game. I forget what it's called, something racers. It's got like all this like crazy biking and shit and snowboarding. Anything with snowboarding in it, I kind of like. So that looked cool. That's
Oh,
about it.
wait, was that the? Am I thinking of a different show? Was that the like? What's that snowboarding game that everybody loved called?
SSX.
Yeah, was that the SSX game?
No, this was something else. I think this was a new IP. It was just
do you
called like
remember what it was
Racer
called?
something.
Not 1080
Um,
snowboarding, was it? That was the only other one.
And it wasn't just snowboarding. There was actually another game later on that I'll talk about in one of the other presentations that was just snowboarding. This one had that, and it also had like biking and I think like. Other
Wait, was
shit
it
as well.
Riders Republic?
Yeah, that's it.
This
That's-
is the second year that Ubisoft has announced a game with snowboarding that looked good, and then we never heard from it ever again.
That's the biggest fear, because it does actually look good. I can't say the same for like that piece of shit new Far Cry game. Did you see how like they're announcing the season pass for a game that isn't out yet, and the season pass looks like it has more content than the actual game, which is literally just my poor immigrants. The game. It was so fucking weird, and then like immediately after that, they come out of nowhere with this morbidly fat woman talking about her Native American heritage for like 15 minutes, and no gameplay is there. And I'm wondering why the fuck I'm watching this.
I'm more convinced now more than ever that these showcases and reveals and trailers that are just movies and pricing packages just appeal to investors. Like, this is just an investor meeting that gets publicized.
Well, that was the
See,
original purpose of
that's-
E3, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's what I
was.
was gonna say. It's funny that it's returned back to its origins in that manner, because originally E3 was just it was an electronic entertainment expo, and like
it wasn't
most
even
expos,
originally open to the public at that
Yeah.
point.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like it was. I thought the first E3 was open to the public, but none of the others were after that. But
Let's go back to Space World.
have to fact check that one. Anyway, it was just like at the time, infrastructure for displaying stuff to the general public was limited, so it was a expo to just show off what was new in the industry. Hence why back in the really early days, Nintendo used PowerPoint and word art.
God, those days must be fucking glorious.
Let me see if I can find. If I can find the picture, you could throw that up.
Absolutely, I'll toss it up there.
Oh shit! Well,
My
he's looking
favorite
that up.
thing-
Another game, real quick. The only other one that I seem to like from, I think it was Ubisoft, was Homeworld. There's a new Homeworld game coming out. I haven't finished the first one, and I haven't even touched the second one, but I've heard both those are good.
What is Homeworld? Could you tell us?
It's It's like this old strategy game where you command like a fleet of ships, and it's mainly a story-driven game, or at least that's what people like the most about it, where you have to go and find the homeworld of whatever fucking race you're leading. Apparently, it's got like a great story and all that shit, and not very well known, despite so it's kind of like a cult classic. But I'm interested to see that. I guess that surprised me.
Oh, that's interesting. Bringing out old classics. Not very like Ubisoft. Like, of course I was not even like I forgot they owned Rayman. Like, I didn't remember until just now. I randomly thought, "Hey, what about Rayman?" But even if I remembered, I knew they were not going to show any Rayman. So
And it's like, what the fuck about Rayman?
yeah.
Oh
Are
right,
you talking
I
about that
forgot.
Rabid spin-off?
I forgot that they
Yeah.
showed off the Rabbids again, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
charming in 2019, but now it's. Please stop.
I really liked the Rabbids back when the first game came out on Wii, and there was like a bunch of like weird minigame bullshit, and there was like a light rail shooter game in it, but I don't know. I only played the first 2 Rabid games.
I don't know anything about them other than I've seen the characters. I guess the game looked neat if you're a fan of that. I didn't really care that much.
Yeah, this is a sequel to a game that did pretty well. The Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope. I think that's what it's called. Where they took out the grid system that was in the other one since it was a tactical game, and now it's just like based on a radius, I guess.
It's like, who gives a shit about Ubisoft? Like, what was the last game they made that was good? I'd say that would be Far Cry 2, and that was like 2008, I think.
I don't know. I'm thinking like Splinter Cell before it went super actiony.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
like Chaos Theory.
Yeah, I never played Far Cry yet, but I think the last Splinter Cell I really enjoyed was probably Double Agent, which was, it played like Chaos Theory. It had this kind of dumb morality system, but it was still old school Splinter Cell in gameplay. And Conviction was when they changed it up into like a third-person shooter, and I didn't really like it as much.
I mean, initially, Rainbow Six Siege was a good game. I liked playing it, but with this recent update that they're talking about, oh shit. Man, that looks like fucking ass cheeks.
What are they doing to Siege?
So you know how like Rainbow Six is known for being like a simulator? It's like the super stressful, like,
Shoot
react
through the fucking walls and die kind of game.
Use your fucking brain.
Yeah.
And the tools that they give you and overcome some impressive challenges. Now it's kill a bunch of zombies. The focus of realism in the Tom Clancy name, it's like, fuck it. Just kill some zombies.
So they're going to throw in some Avenged Sevenfold music, and there's going to be alien ray guns and a Nazi scientist
I
guy.
guess. And they fucking did this before for like a season. I remember like just randomly installing Rainbow Six, and I saw, oh, we got this temporary event where you get to kill like these fucking alien zombies. I'm like, all right, whatever. I guess that's like nifty for, the month or so that it fucking lasted. I don't know how long it lasted, but the point is it was temporary, and it was just like this fun, rare treat. Yeah. No harm in it.
I have a funny story about Ubisoft games.
Yeah,
whenever you have a moment.
Okay, I just want to say real quick, I think they could actually do something with that idea where like they could do a more tactical response to like a zombie survival, like a little base defense kind of thing. But like when I played Black Ops, I think I only really had fun when I played the zombies modes, because I think all the passion kind of went into that in those games. But go on, Vice.
One of the last forays I had with an Ubisoft title was not when I went to purchase it, but a mutual friend of ours was really excited for Watch Dogs when it first came out.
Oh, was this the janitor?
Yes, the janitor. At the time, the janitor, we went to the midnight release at GameStop. At that time, the janitor was still 17, but I was 18, so I had to be his guardian.
His dad.
Yeah, I was his dad
That's
for the
fucking
night.
Ridiculous. But yeah.
To authorize this purchase of the title. Which was very funny. And then we played it. That night we had bought, it was the summer, so they had 3 mystery flavors of Doritos, and we tried those. We said they all tasted like snail po. And we played Watch Dogs that night, and
that game smelled like snail po.
I remember it being very, very shit.
Was he enjoying it?
For the most part, like, when you get a new game, you're always, unless it's like horrible, you're always kind of at least somewhat enjoying it.
I don't know. Sometimes it feels like a complete
of course,
mixed bag.
Mainly we were just fucking around, not following the story at all.
As you should in an open world game.
But
as a side, real quick, for those who are curious, you can actually hear the janitor talk if you go to the Martian Knights channel.
Yeah, he does star in our Resident Evil 7 playthrough.
He's also on your podcast.
He was there for a part of Luigi's Mansion, and he was there for the Resident Evil 7.
I'll put in his disgusting joke that got him kicked off the show right here.
You think when he's eating out chicks, he just sticks his nose in there?
Oh god.
Boing,
God.
boing, boing, boing,
Do
boing.
you think he does?
Wahoo!
Do you think he sneezes sometimes? While he's inside?
Stop!
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I know I crossed the line.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The
Oh
line.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Awful. That's so awful.
A wonderful fighting experience that was.
Yep.
When I was at the controls, you two bickering made me so angry that I lost all fear of that game.
That was probably the worst playthrough of Luigi's Mansion ever, man. Like, that final boss, I still remember. Like,
Yes.
I still don't know what went wrong. I was sucking on the fucking spiky balls, and I couldn't fucking pick them up. Like, my fucking vacuum was right on them.
I have no idea. We should probably get back to E3 now.
Yeah, back on topic. Brandon.
Oh, you know what? I was actually thinking about Luigi's Mansion a while ago when they had that when Luigi's Mansion was first being shown off and they showed it off on a 3D display. It's like, look, this is one of the stereoscopic 3D titles that we're making, and nobody noticed or gave a shit.
That sucks.
No,
I've
we
heard
got it
that
on
one
3DS like a decade later.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how the 3D gimmick never caught on?
And it never.
No, what are you
fucking
telling
will.
me? What are you telling me that they just put out a 3DS and they're like, oh no, we better make it a 2DS? That's crazy.
Hey, we figured out how to do 3D without glasses. This should be revolutionary, right? Ah, no, it's just a stupid gimmick.
It's just a fucking eye strain simulator.
It's also funny because that technology had been around for a very long time prior to that.
Yeah, it's like the first. Everybody thinks that they've got on the VR trend lately, but have they heard of a thing called the Virtual Boy?
Which makes me, I was about to say, they need to do, you know how they did a Nintendo NES Classic and a SNES Classic? They need to do the Virtual Boy Classic.
It's also really tiny.
Yeah, it fits over one eye.
Oh,
Sounds cool.
no. I can't.
I want a Virtual Boy Classic.
It has
You can
all
fit the
games that
entire
ever were
virtual-
on it, yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
14 of them. That would
God.
be the only Nintendo console with a re-release that could say it has the entire library already installed on it.
Wow.
You know, I have Virtual Boy, and I feel like Mario Tennis would have been fun back when it came out. It's too, trivial today.
Well, you would have felt like you were in the Matrix or some shit, or like
Yeah.
your favorite '80s pop cinema movie.
Exactly. I still don't know why they chose red. They could have chose any color, but they chose red.
Red is the color.
they could
that
only
gets fails,
choose-
man. It's fucking impulsive.
They could only choose two colors.
So they
From
chose red
a
and
marketing
black.
perspective,
Yeah.
Virtual Boy is
man.
like a Ferrari. Like you see it and you immediately want to buy it.
If
The
they had
actual-
just chose blue and black, it would have sold better.
the actual theory behind that in terms of marketing is like red is often associated with desire. So if you put your product either in red packaging or you make it red, it draws people in more.
Yeah, it pretty
Yes,
much
that's why
excites
McDonald's
your
is so
brain,
successful.
and your impulse control goes out the roof. Or the
Better
window.
call it the Virtual Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the virtual bimbo.
Ooh, himbo.
Okay. So, any more to say about Ubisoft? Anyone?
Ubisoft.
Double check
No.
notes here. Nah, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. They can go to hell. Who cares? Okay.
It was shit. Like, who gives a fuck?
Who is next?
And one of their announcements.
Next
that-
up is Devolver Digital.
No. Next up is...
Oh my god,
Yeah.
Devolver Digital. I watched that stupid presentation. I hated it. It was so.
I wanted to die.
Was it really that bad, Vice? I remember you not hating them. Like
I loved them back in 2019, but remember, you have for context, it was 2019. Me, Wesker, and the janitor were sitting at my house, surrounded by snacks,
snorting Dorito dust. My bad.
snorting Dorito dust, which is not a lie.
Yeah.
And we were sitting, and we had just... It was late at night. It was very late. And We were all dying because we had just had Luther burgers that day. And Bethesda had just shown their presentation. And this was right after 76. We were sick of them. They were boring. Half the presentation was just them groveling for sympathy. It was the most low energy, horrible presentation ever.
We wanted a kick to the nuts.
So after a whole day of this, it's 11 at night. Devolver Digital comes on. They're doing their little. I think it was 11.
Okay.
They were doing. It was late. It was really late, and no, maybe Bethesda was 11, and I think Devolver was like 1. I have to look it up. Anyway, then Devolver comes on with their usual little spiel, which was, tolerable at the time. And then they show Fall Guys, which was just such a high energy trailer because it was playing Harry Belafonte's Shake Senora. And it was just so exciting, and that really got me pumped after Bethesda shit the bed. All the energy that was in Devolver's presentation was just so good that I was much more primed to enjoy all their humor, their humor wasn't bad. It was fairly decent. But this year, it was just horrible. It was far too on the nose.
As the kids say, cringe.
It wasn't even cringe. It was just like... It was like Valium.
It was boring.
It was depressing. It was just mocking the state of the industry and just acutely reminding you of how horrible everything is now.
And there was no surgery this time. There was no robotic recreation.
And there was no fun to make up for it. There was no over-the-top antics. It was just, yeah, video games suck. Fuck you.
Like, last year, they parodied a Nintendo Direct, right?
I think so, right? Hello?
Yeah, and this year they just kind of parodied themselves because they were talking about a continuity between the presentations, and they wanted everybody to be like, I don't know, like, did they expect us to have seen all the previous presentations?
They've done that thing where they become aware of themselves. They become self-aware. It's like, you know how everybody loved when Reggie said my body was ready as an off-the-cuff thing, and that made him endearing? But when they started to actually become aware that people like that and capitalize on it, it made them look stupid.
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
it's the same
where
thing.
It was like, oh, they get the joke and they said it like 5 years too late. Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although when an Asian man says it, it's actually kind of funny.
That's just you being racist, Brandon.
No, it's it's diversity where I think things are funnier.
Funny joke, haha. I said things, Brandon laugh, haha.
I like that. You made it better. Anyway.
My body is ready.
And Nina Struthers does not age well at all. Even though it's only been 2 years, she looks like she's aged 20.
Who are we talking about? That woman?
The woman who's like the face of the show.
Oh, the robot.
Yeah, the crazy bitch.
One thing I didn't notice that the janitor pointed out was there's a recurring imagery of chili cheese dogs throughout the entire presentation.
What the?
Or something to that effect.
Was it like our cinematography in Coca-Cola cans?
Yeah, exactly. It was Coca-Cola bottles for us, but yeah.
For an explanation, whenever we did projects of, we videotaped stuff for high school and college, I believe it was, we always had a Coca-Cola bottle in the shot.
Yeah, it was a recurring prop.
Did anybody ever notice?
Yeah, when we pointed it out.
Okay.
Remember when we did that fucking thing for math and we blew all the budget on putting a hat on my head for like 5 seconds?
Yes. Digitally editing in a hat onto your head. My favorite part, I know this is off topic, this is totally worth it. For the
this is a video game.
For our math class project back in high school, we had to
Solve a derivative.
Solve a derivative. And in the first shot, you can see this derivative on the board. And when it cuts next, it's a much easier one because we couldn't solve the one we put on the board.
Our teachers were really bad at teaching.
We had to put in the textbook easiest one because we were too dumb to solve the one we
It was not
set
because
up
we were dumb. Those teachers were really bad at teaching.
I know, but it's just funny because it's like 30 minutes of footage of us all just surrounding the one we put on there, trying to figure it out.
Oh, those were good days.
Yeah, much better days than what we have now, where Devolver is making horrible presentations, and
Should have had
I've
Russell
heard-
Crowe.
I've heard every different interpretation of the Devolver conference. Gay Robot thinks it's the worst thing ever to grace visual media.
Yeah, I stand by that.
The janitor thought it was vaguely alright, and there were parts he liked and parts he didn't. And one of my other friends says, "No, I loved the Devolver. It was the best thing ever." A lot of mixed reception on that one.
They weren't being sarcastic in any way. Like
No, they were serious. He was serious.
Monetization as a service. That was the title that they went with. That they that was a joke they built up on for like 10 minutes before video games. Video games are shown off.
So it should have been like 1 or 2 minutes at most. I get you.
I kind of
horse.
was it like that last time where they just didn't immediately show a video game.
Fuck yeah, it was.
Yeah.
God damn it, they didn't shut the fuck up.
Their humor was more subtle in the past. Like, one of the things I liked was they continuously used stock footage of people in the audience cheering and enjoying
I did like that. That was actually kind of funny.
Flagrantly stock footage.
Some of it was subtle, some of it was overt. It was like it used to be a nice blend, you know, like things you would catch.
It was a good parody of the conference. I guess you can't really say genre, but it was a parody of the conference format, and it was still a conference in itself, but it was subtly mocking it. But now it was like hitting you over the head with a baseball bat, mocking it.
In case you didn't get it.
Because there's nothing left there's no more room for subtlety because things have just gotten that bad.
But yeah, we have Skyrim on a fridge, so no room.
We had the
left.
Skyrim board game.
Oh god. That's Devolver Ocelot.
Yeah, and speaking of Skyrim, we should talk about the next person on the list.
Hold on, I haven't given my thoughts on Devolver.
Oh, okay.
And Gearbox is actually up next. And since they were there, it's worth mentioning at least for the fact that they exist.
Fair enough.
So Devolver, as Vice said, I am not very much a fan of them. I hate their fucking corporate SJW ass humor. Their anti-humor, I should say. And, you know, it epitomizes what I don't like about E3, which is I don't give a fuck about devs or corporate boys and their fucking jokes that will never make me laugh. I just want to see fucking video games. It's E3. Just show me the fucking video games. Why do I have to sit through like a 15-minute skit? Like, nodding off like a fucking heroin addict because it can't fucking keep me entertained. It's
because
like,
they are the
just show
jesters.
the games. You know what would be really funny? If they showed me the games.
This is
Wesker,
one of the
include that-
reasons.
Include that audio of Reggie going, "If it's not fun, why bother?"
If it's not fun, why bother?
Also
Exactly.
include Will Smith saying, "Where the video games at?"
Where the video games?
Where the video games? That could sum up the entire fucking presentation, save for like 2 segments, which we'll get into, is where the fucking video games at. But yeah, at least in 2019, like, I was laughing at them. This year, I wasn't laughing at all. I was fucking falling asleep. So. And Gearbox, the only thing I really remember about them is that the only note I even have is being surprised that Gearbox is still in business. I completely forgot they fucking existed.
Gearbox is Borderlands and porn on a flash drive.
That's all they talked about, so.
Well, I didn't actually watch anything they talked about, but I did play Borderlands 3. That was okay.
This much.
I played
I hated
Borderlands
Borderlands.
1 like a long time ago, and it wasn't the best thing I played, but I was playing with a friend. So, like, back when it first came out, we were playing on 360 way back in the day. And, like, I probably would enjoy it now. I did play 2 and the pre-sequel, and I really did not like those games. Like, especially Claptrap. Really fucking annoying. Normally I like annoying characters, but the meme humor was grating in the worst way they could have tried to, like, if Claptrap to me is Devolver to you, then I think I understand your pain.
And I'll tell you this: it doesn't get any better in the writing department if that's what if that's what you think improves upon iterations.
Oh no, I know about fucking Butt Stallion and fucking Handsome Jackoff or whatever. And just knowing that, it's like, yeah, I don't need to play this fucking what's a good word for it? Where it's like some sort of like automation machine with constant loot that just never ends. It's like Skyrim, but like it's got less interesting. And like Skyrim,
I like
anything itself.
I kind of like the loot, but my main problem with Borderlands is just the writing is so immature. It can't even take it seriously. Like not even
sure
like trying to have fun, but just downright just nobody. There's no foil.
I'm sure there'll be somebody who would be like, "Oh, but that's the point. You can't criticize." Yes, we can criticize them for that if they're fucking bad at it, and
There's no restraint.
And the biggest problem that I had with Borderlands, and the only reason that I managed to survive for like less than 20 minutes in that game, is because it's just fucking boring.
It is, yeah. It's very repetitive, and there's not much going on, and
too much fucking MMO-ish combat, and that's saying something coming from somebody who's played fucking World of Warcraft for 10 fucking years.
And Borderlands 3 does a thing at the very beginning where it's like parodying other AAA first-person shooters. It's just like, hey, go down to the storage bay and go find the jetpacks and the left-handed guns and the grappling hooks that you're gonna need. And then they just catch on fire and get shot out in the space. Like, oh, guess you didn't need those. All right, time to start the game.
That's weird that he says you needed those, and I was saying you didn't. Like,
well,
it feels like they only half
paraphrasing.
wrote. Yeah, but like, if it's anything like what you said, it sounds like they half wrote the joke, and like just kind of like, okay, whatever, let's just do it.
Yeah, it was very
Wasn't that the design philosophy behind the whole game?
It feels like that, yes.
It kind of kicked me in the testicles because I was really looking forward to something different, but the only thing they really added was a shitty slide and a ground pound that doesn't do much, except against the final boss.
There are 2 good things I can say about it. 1, sexy clown lady. 2, vehicle was kind of fun. But that's really it.
I was looking for a way to work that in.
Yeah, me too. Because that's one of the only things I know about it at this point.
It's the only thing I know about it at this point.
Sorry, I got a little personal and got ranty.
Oh no, it's fine. What else did Gearbox make though? I know that they made some classics before Borderlands, right?
Well, I thought they made Aliens, Colonial Marines.
They did. I know they were responsible to some extent. I think they might have ported the whole game, but they did. They were involved with the PC port for Halo Combat Evolved, and that was decent.
Oh, way back in the day. Okay.
They're infamous for their fucking shitty vehicle controls. At least that was the meme back in the day. They made Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh.
That
explains a lot, actually.
Because
it's all coming together now. Oh god.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people made Duke Nukem Forever.
Which, I mean, Duke Nukem Forever, it's like, I don't know what people were expecting from that game, but development hell is development hell.
Once you're in, you don't get out.
Nope. Even if it finishes, it's hell, it ain't over yet. That fucking shitty quote, I can't remember who said it. It was like, a rushed game will inevitably be bad, but I'm paraphrasing, and a delayed game will eventually be good. No, that's not fucking true at all. That's
I think this is Miyamoto.
Never the case. It
might
be
allegedly Miyamoto.
Allegedly. It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard, though.
Here, no, let me get the exact quote. That way we can
Yeah, just
actually
for
see what
clarity.
this man says.
Did you guys
Miyamoto.
did you guys think Duke Nukem Forever was too immature in its humor? Since we were been talking about immature humor before,
Duke Nukem was
Duke
just a
Nukem.
clusterfuck.
like picking up the turd too much. I think it might have been
It's-
too much.
It's Duke Nukem. Like, fuck, who cares? Like, all he does is like the game opens perfectly. You know, he flings shit around and
Yeah,
he gets a
Duke
blowjob
Nukem
with
was
his
always
tongue.
goofy. Yeah, but I think this one was like going
People-
way over there.
People criticize that game way too much. Like, yeah, it wasn't the best, and it definitely wasn't no Duke Nukem 3D. But like, holy shit, it's fucking Duke Nukem. Do you expect like this? Like one reviewer on YouTube says, like, you know, it doesn't. This game isn't clearly not trying to set out to turn water into wine. It's like turning fucking piss into Budweiser. That's exactly what it fucking does. It's supposed to be this trashy fucking, you know, alien shooter.
Yeah, I liked the hub world.
Full
And I liked
identity.
how the game opened. I'll say that.
The character of the game was solid.
Some of the levels
Um,
were pretty cool. Like I remember like a fucking fast food area that was kind of goofy.
Okay, so the thing with Miyamoto, what he said is let's see. When Miyamoto, this is around time Nintendo delayed the launch of the Nintendo 64 by 3 months to afford his team time to finish the game of his vision. And then he said, in regards to that, a delayed game is eventually good, but a rush game is forever bad. And that was just in regards to his own project.
Yeah,
Well-
but the problem is that people fucking quote that shit like it's gospel, and
Yeah, that's how like the internet works.
yeah, and then the fucking message gets obscured. But you know,
Yeah,
the point I was
well.
trying to make is in that context that the fucking internet regurgitates it in. No, that's not true at all. See, Duke Nukem Forever is a prime fucking example of that.
See, Miyamoto meant 3 months, not 3 decades.
Or fucking Cyberpunk. Check that one out.
And he meant
Like,
Mario, not fucking Buzzcut guy.
Well, what me and Vice say is real simple. A rushed game is forever bad, and a delayed game is eventually bad.
Yeah.
Or it's bad at launch like Cyberpunk.
Yeah. It's probably still bad now. That game is overpriced even on sale. Like, I was hoping it'd drop to like $10 by now so I could like check it out for the Cyberpunk stuff.
If that game doesn't give you money for fucking like adding it to your Steam library, then it's too fucking much money.
Yeah.
Such a piece
I
of
kind
shit.
of foresee it being like the only way the base price is going to ever drop is if they release paid DLC, which I don't think they've done yet.
I'm sure they
Have they?
fucking will.
Just wait till they add the Neo Tokyo expansion.
Oh,
New Neo Tokyo.
Yeah. Or the Witcher
Just-
expansion for some reason somehow. Even though
What about when they add the Fuda expansion?
What, Dash and Dine? You gonna go into
What?
fucking femboy Hooters and you're gonna...
Yes.
Is that a game on Steam? Like something about Fuda
I
Dash and
hope
Dine?
not. I don't want to know.
Look it up.
We're talking about Bone Town?
Uh,
I don't
Yo,
want to know.
talking about some good old Bone Town. That came to
Yeah.
Steam
no, you're
for
thinking of
some reason.
I would love to
bangers.
stream Bone Town
No,
if I
no,
could.
no, I swear. Look up like Fuda. Look up Fuda on Steam right now.
Fuda.
No, seriously,
Fuda,
it's like Fuda
it's
Dine
Dick,
Dash.
Dine, and Dash.
Yeah,
They're
Are we still in
$11.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still on Gearbox.
Why? Why
you mean
did they bring this
Bethesda?
out of us?
Yeah, let's
This is
move
Gearbox.
on. Let's move on to the one fucking presentation minus Nintendo
Isn't
that
it just,
actually did what they were supposed to fucking do. Talk about games and be professional. Like, holy shit.
I
Thank
just-
you, God.
before you
Sex
go
bot?
on, I just want to say how fitting it is when we're talking over Bethesda, and instead of focusing on the Bethesda, we go over to side conversations of just pure degeneracy, because that's how you play their games. You just mod the shit.
Oh, I like how one of these screenshots is just straight up dick sucking. Thank you. I guess fucking.
Yeah,
There is
fellatio,
no-
bro.
All right. I'm gonna click off
So-
this real quick. Oh
So
God.
Todd
fuck.
Howard.
Xbox though, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
how many
Xbox.
directors has Halo Infinite gone through?
How many
I need to look that up.
development cycles?
Let's
No, like there was at one point when Halo Infinite, like during the early stages of development, where a director just left, and at E3 this year, we had a director like the newest director of Halo Infinite talking to us. Hold on. but I think it happened twice already.
It's noteworthy they did open with Bethesda. I don't remember anything that Bethesda talked about because I didn't give a fuck. I like how they didn't talk about Elder Scrolls 6. I like how they sidelined fucking Todd Howard. It's like that's the only reason people watch that fucking presentation is to see Todd be charming and lie to us. And they didn't fucking show him for like more than 10 minutes. It's like he opened it and then some other fuckhead hosted the Bethesda side of the conference. And so who fucking cares? God.
I hate to cut in, but Tekken 7 is like $6 right now. Is anyone interested in playing Tekken anytime?
No.
No? No Tekken?
I mean, I have it. I love it. By the way, Halo Infinite has had like 3 executive developers quit. So far.
That's a bad sign.
I feel
That's
really,
a really
bad.
bad sign.
Really bad for Microsoft having Bethesda latched onto them like some kind of tumor. It's like the hot girl coming to prom with the ugly girl to make her feel better.
And it's such a perfect comparison too, where like you see how much Microsoft has improved over the years, especially after like some of the PR disasters they suffered from in the past with the old Xbox One or whatever.
Yeah.
They're the only company that has actually learned their fucking lesson.
But what's crazy is like they open with Bethesda, and you're like, who gives a shit? This fucking games are insulting to my eyeballs. Nothing new was announced basically.
It's like your eyeballs and your balls.
And then Microsoft comes on. It's like, oh wow, this is an actual professional presentation and they're showing games that look interesting. What the fuck? It's just this huge fucking boost in quality. It's like Bethesda really is a fucking wink link for them.
They should never have allowed them.
They shouldn't have.
Unless it's like for the future that they're going to get bought out.
I will say, the only thing that I remember from Bethesda is they announced a RTX update for Doom Eternal, so I think I will finally go and give that game another chance when they actually come out with that, if it isn't already out already.
Yeah, I played the first 3 levels of that like yesterday, and I wanted to ask you, I forgot to. How far did you get there?
Like first level, I didn't finish it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I was like, fuck this.
Oh, that racing game that they show. Every year the racing games look good.
Yeah.
Even though they went on a little long about it.
Were you watching
Forza
stream?
Yeah. And yes, he was playing Eurobeat over it.
Well, that's good at least. Did the stream ever get good, or was it just...
What do you think?
Yeah.
Hey, a funny story. We played. He hosted a Fall Guys competition.
Mm-hmm. And that's why you don't want to play it now.
I won.
Wow.
Yeah.
What'd you
nice.
win?
Nothing.
Not even a role in his fucking Discord server.
No.
Wow.
It's just grooming you.
Hey, at least you're Microsoft like Minecraft certified, circumcised.
What?
What about
you got that
Minecraft
certification?
Like,
Yeah, I have
looking on-
terminal Minecraft.
Look on the bright side, man.
All your fucking internal organs are just blocks now.
All my cells are converting into cubes.
You're slowly becoming ugly bastard Minecraft Steve.
Yeah, you're the voxel that we all think about. By the way,
Soon my red blood cells will be incapable of transporting oxygen because of their square shape, and I will die.
They'll just be red slimes from Minecraft.
yeah, you're powered by redstone, not blood.
Oh, fuck! I had to be in range of a lever or torch at all times.
It'll be like that.
Dude,
anime
anybody
you
could
hate,
just
but
walk onto
Minecraft.
you. I could just like get a daylight sensor, hook it up to you, and you'd just be useless at night. It'd be over.
Like I already am.
Yeah, you might want to check and see if there's something on your back.
one thing, the only thing that I found really interesting about that racing game, I mean, it looked good in terms of graphics or whatever. I'm not too into like car racing as much as I am like sport racing or whatever, like snowboarding and shit. They showed like a bunch of cool hot air balloons and shit in the background. I was thinking like, why is there not like a hot air balloon sim yet? That shit would be badass. And they showed MS Flight Sim like right after that.
Years
I was
ago,
gonna say-
there was a game that was like an airship simulator where you had a crew, and the crew were other players, and it was all about keeping it floating, and I can't remember what else. I think there were airship battles in that game, but I can't remember.
Yeah, that was like an indie game though, right?
Yeah,
almost
that was
sounds-
like mid 2010s. Like, that was way back.
That almost sounds familiar to me.
I know what it is. I just can't remember what the name of it is.
I think it was partially like a bunch of like YouTuber clickbait kind of, or that
It's
kind
like-
of thing where it's like they play it for a couple times and it's like that's how it gets word out for it.
Yeah, and teamwork was like essential because you had to have somebody watch the valves.
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember that game now. I just can't remember what the fuck it was called.
Yeah, but as for, hot air balloons, closest you're probably going to get is Red Dead Redemption 2, where you do fly a hot air balloon part of the game.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game looked kind of cool. Again, MS Flight Sim looked pretty interesting. I'm just happy that they're still making simulators, like actual fucking simulators. Also, they had a proper snowboarding game. I think it's called like Shredders or something. That looks cool. I hope it's actually good if it ever comes out.
Is it... I gotta ask, because what I'm really waiting for in a sports game now, because I don't give a fuck about sports, I want a passionately made game, like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater or Tony Hawk Underground. Like, I want a game that's like... It's a solid sports experience, but it's also goofy as fuck. And it's got like a good soundtrack. Which probably will never happen nowadays, but...
What I want is like good soundtrack, beautiful environments, and just some like badass snowboarding. That's all I fucking want.
I'm in it for like the arcade kind of stuff.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what I
in
mean?
it for the story, yeah.
The story.
Yeah, you're in it for the
I mean,
characters.
I want to do like crazy shit for points. Although I did play that one Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. I think it was 4. That was open world with NPCs and side quests. That was
the
actually
one
pretty awesome.
That was one I played all the time. I don't think it was that one. You're probably thinking Underground. That's the one where you kind of run around off your board. In 4, I think you're always on your board, but the levels are...
No, I mean it was on your board, but there's like NPCs.
Yeah, there are NPCs, and like it's kind of sandboxy. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of that, and just doing whatever the fuck I want and getting points, and sometimes having things devolve into a mini game where I do things for no reason.
Just listening to your punk pop and your trashy new metal.
Maybe find a collectible on top of the fucking university ceiling.
Yeah. get
However
some
way I get up
XP.
there.
See, I think that's the one where
I
you
don't know.
unlock Boba Fett. From Star Wars.
I know the old Tony Hawk games you could play as a Spider-Man skin.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Oh, you could also play as Darth Maul.
In Shrek, I think. Or was that a
But
mod?
the last
Speaking
well,
of
that's-
movie cameos, I want to talk about the fact they're putting Jack Sparrow in
Oh yeah, I
And-
almost forgot about that.
an Ocean of Steel,
Ocean
which
of
I'm
Dawn.
actually looking forward to that.
I didn't even watch that trailer. What's going on with that? Tell me.
They're putting a bunch of Pirates of the Caribbean themed content in Sea of Thieves, and that's about
Yeah.
it. But it looks like they're putting a lot, and it's for free. So what's there to complain about?
That's lovely.
That's good. The game
Well,
kind of.
let me tell you what happens. The Disney logo just flashes. Like, it overtakes everything. It engulfs the entire universe when it splashes on screen.
That's Disney for you.
It was pretty cool. Then Captain Jack Sparrow just smiles at you with big yellow teeth and says that you gotta find 3 oranges to cure his scurvy so he can help you.
When are they gonna put Sora in it?
That's exactly what I asked.
Yeah, like, when are we getting Cloud Strife in this game? Sephiroth.
When are they going to
Disney
put
hasn't wrote
gameplay
back
in it,
to
and
me.
it isn't just the devs saying, "Oh, make your own fun."
Yeah, when is Kazuya coming from Tekken into this game?
Yeah, I want to throw people off of boats.
Off the plank.
I mean, it does feel like, what if they made the Kingdom Hearts 3 section of Pirates of the Caribbean? What if they made that a whole actual game? So
Well,
I do like that.
I like the sailing part of Sea of Thieves and that management, but whenever we get to islands, I get super bored.
Uh-huh.
Which kind of feels like the opposite of what I would expect, but...
Well, I mean, the islands aren't exactly flush with content.
yeah.
You fight some dead guys, You dig up some boxes. You eat fruit. It's certainly the sailing mechanics are the most engaging because that's the most developed aspect of it and requires constant.
The meat and potatoes.
Yes, it requires constant vigilance. You're always on the lookout for other ships. You're always angling them sails and
Watching out for the giant hentai monster in the waves.
exactly.
Or Sharky Boy.
What else did Xbox do?
Halo, which
Yeah, they announced a free-to-play multiplayer Halo experience.
I forgot to watch that trailer for the multiplayer. How did it look, boys?
didn't care, didn't watch it.
You can throw fusion coils at people. You know, you can use your grapple hook to grab weapons out of the air. I'm pretty sure that was pretty hammed up. Like, I don't see myself doing that every single time I play video games. You can also throw
from Doom Eternal.
You can also throw shit around. I like how it feels like things that don't weigh a whole lot, that have some physics to them, you can just pick them up and fucking toss them, like a fusion coil that explodes.
I think that's the perfect direction to go in with the core gameplay, is just to like make use of that physics stuff that the first game, that was known for, and just take it from there. Which I like that they're doing that.
You know what I'd be interested in? If they'd release the fucking game.
Yeah. Coming this holiday.
In theory, it's coming this holiday, my fucking ass.
Did they have a Steam little watermark for the releases?
I don't remember. I just noticed that they said a lot of shit about Game Pass and how, if you have Game Pass, we'll suck your dick and give you free games. But basically, the multiplayer's free. All the way through. Free. But, I guess they still expect you to pay money for the single player, like it's that good.
I guess they must be kind of proud of it, even though, like, I watched the campaign trailer, and the first thing I fucking noticed was fucking Poppin again.
Just remember, Wesker, these are the same people that made Halo 4.
I know,
and then
I know.
5.
I know, man, I know.
They're still learning. They still got a ways to go.
Are they really the same people, or have they been traded out yet? Like, are they the same
actually, there has been some trade-off, but it's like... It's just
we met the new guy at E3. I forgot his name already.
The fact that they're trading off people for, key fucking people, as Brandon was saying, for Halo Infinite, is very fucking reminiscent of the development cycle that Cyberpunk went through.
Oh, yeah.
Need I fucking say more? Again, it harkens back to the thing I was talking about, where delayed games, they're not always that great, just because they were delayed.
Look... I already know the worst thing about that is Devil May Cry 2, and if you guys don't know the story of that, the director of Devil May Cry 3 was put onto the project, of 3. He was put onto the project with only a month until release, and the only thing that was finished, as he said, was the animation for the thrust move, Stinger. So, that bullshit is what he managed to cobble up in, like, a month. And then, he was so disappointed in the game and the time he had with it, that he pretty much bet his entire career on Devil May Cry 3, and he set out to make it up for the series, make the best game he could, and god damn it, he fucking did.
I mean, that's always the hope that, Halo Infinite will actually be good. It seems like 343 has understood some of the criticism they've gotten.
They've listened to some degree, like, you can see it in the art style.
But the art style can only take it so fucking far.
Remember that cutesy AI?
Who gives a shit? That fucking piece of shit, scuffed ass Cortana looking shit.
Yeah, the not Cortana, the one that's kind of got it's like a completely different kind of thing.
That character looks so last gen. Like the textures look.
She looks like an intern.
She looks like a fucking like a placeholder asset for an alpha.
I don't like how her mouth hangs open.
I don't like how she has clothes.
I'm very confused by...
That's weird, gay robot. That's not you, man. You hate women.
I know, but like, I'm used to Cortana looking the way she does. So when they did that shit in Halo 5, where she's in like this SJW armor for no fucking reason, she shouldn't have even been in 5. To be fair, she shouldn't be in this game, but she is, because they couldn't fucking commit to killing her.
That's not Cortana. What are you talking about? That's a completely different AI that looks just like her.
Oh right, yeah. I can't believe I got those two mixed up.
Yeah,
It's a
she doesn't
completely
have
unique
the
character
boobs that I
who I'm
like.
sure has a great purpose in this plot, which I'm sure is not going to be total fucking ass.
Okay, but
By the way, Todd Howard died on stage. It was pretty cool.
oh, thank God,
No
is he
one-
not coming back?
No, I mean he's coming back.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Like
he's
how they
got
brought
to
him
make
out
Skyrim
for 10
again.
seconds
I
to
fucking
announce
hate
that-
that shit. Like,
to announce that Starfield exists.
no, to announce that they have a trailer for Starfield.
Yeah,
I didn't see
trailer
any
for
fucking
Starfield.
gameplay.
So like,
No, here's how he phrased it, and it's so fucking perfect. He said, "Now here's something to look forward to,"
oh my
as if there's
God.
nothing. There's
Well, here's
nothing.
the thing. The fact that they didn't have any gameplay tells me a lot. It tells me that they are still a long ass way from development.
When
Either
did
that
you
or
get
they're
the
not
first
too confident.
teaser trailer that was just the logo? 2018, 2019?
Long ago.
So, I did see a bit of that trailer, and apparently it's all in engine, but that could just be bullshit, so who knows? Bethesda certainly aren't above lying.
Yeah,
I
there's a
think
reason Todd Howard's theme song is, Sweet Little
okay,
Lies.
Halo Infinite will have split screen.
Lies, tell me sweet little lies.
2018.
Tell me lies, tell me,
Okay, so
tell
Halo
me
Infinite will have
lies.
split screen. I'm looking for the thing that I read about Halo Infinite about new features that weren't mentioned. Oh, now this isn't a feature. It's just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
That's great.
They're stopping red versus blue as like part of the matchmaking in Halo Infinite
What?
What?
because it has to do with just like
How?
people who can't who can't see color.
Get
Well,
the fuck out of here.
Just
That is
put on
so
a fucking
stupid.
colorblind option. Other games do that.
That
I
tells me everything
guess
need to
this
know.
is the colorblind option
Everyone gets
that
it
we
now?
can't say no to.
I thought
What?
most people's colorblind. I thought most people who are colorblind have problems differentiating similar colors. Ergo, blue and red are not one of the things.
Well, there's different kinds of color.
I know there are
blindness.
different kinds. I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
it's the most common
Okay,
kinds
here's the
of
word that I was looking
colorblindness.
for.
No offense to
Accessibility
colorblind people.
changes.
No offense, but I don't suffer from the same fucking ailments. Most people don't. Like, just fucking give the red versus blue shit. Like, turn on a
Make
fucking
it an
setting.
option. Yeah.
Make it a fucking option in the UI, you
What the
stupid
hell?
fucks.
At this point, like it's like it's not originally set up, but it's a retroactive reference to one of the best series.
Oh, and in Halo Infinite, you
Not
can use
only
bots.
that, it's classic. Every fucking multiplayer game back for like fucking Quake.
Yeah.
What were the team colors?
Even
Red and
Time
blue.
Splitters, red and blue, were the two main colors.
Okay, so
Easy.
there's gonna be a training mode
fucking
where you
Smash
can
Brothers too.
where you can use like bots and like adjust their difficulty level and stuff. So it's
Also,
kind
they
of
are
and you can
video
use the
bots.
bots. You can use the bots in custom games too. So that's actually pretty
That's cool.
pretty awesome. As a longtime Halo fan, I've always wondered like what kind of things I could do if I could just test out things I've created without my friends being online.
No, but bots with infection, like that's something that could happen to see how the AI does. Fuck around with the AI some.
How long did
Yeah.
it take him to add Forge into Halo
Hold on.
5?
Halo 5? I think Halo 5 had Forge Day 1.
No, I don't think it did. Halo 5
Well,
had nothing.
what do you guys know?
Halo 5 had nothing.
I know I didn't play it because
It was just a box
Shit.
with a disc in it that didn't do anything.
Yeah. I wonder how it's gonna look in fucking Infinite.
Okay, here's one thing I did like about Infinite that I saw. Maybe not that I liked, but that I noticed, because I noticed that they went a direction, but I don't think maybe they went enough with it. Was Master Chief says less stuff. He doesn't say as little as he used to, but he definitely says less stuff than he did in 4. He is cutting off his sentences, and he's keeping them really short.
We'll see how that holds up in the actual game.
Yeah, because
The story's the only thing I'm worried about because I think the multiplayer looks fine. I don't think it takes a genius to make good multiplayer.
If I can't kill damn dirty blues, then who gives a shit?
I think the multiplayer is everything, really. Like, I think the campaign is a nice cherry on top of these games, but for me, when I think of Halo, I think of, like, the time I spent with my cousin playing Halo 3 and playing Halo Reach in high school.
Excuse me. What
We'll
the
see
fuck?
if they have
Did
fucking loadouts this time.
They showed off a cool thing. It was like a grenade, but when you tossed it, it kind of did like one of those Promethean grenade effects, the pulse grenade.
Ooh.
Except it was like an actual shield.
Ooh,
It was weird.
Why don't they just have a bubble shield?
Yeah, I'm wondering what the hell is going on in the game because I'm only using my memory of the trailer.
As a side note, was anybody else infuriated when they played Halo 3 for the first time and Master Chief didn't just slam that fucking bubble shield down like he did in Starry Night? I was so pissed. This is just like fucking flings it out there like, eh.
Starry Night was the trailer.
Yeah, it was like the best fucking game trailer of all time. Easy. And he just slammed that shit down. It was so cool. And I saw the bubble shield in game. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna do the thing.
Unfortunately, I do not have that. Unfortunately, I did not see the trailer before I played the game.
Yeah, Reach kind of made up for it when Drop Shield became an armor ability. You could just like actually punch down to use it. You can't use it in the air though.
Did Xbox have any other any like surprise like Japanese IPs or anything?
The spiritual successor to
stuff from Ubisoft. I can't remember what.
We're back on Ubisoft again.
You guys are forgetting the most important thing from the Microsoft conference.
Dead or Alive Extreme 4?
No, Among Us is coming to Xbox, baby.
Oh yeah, fuck.
They announced like a bigger player cap.
15-player lobbies.
I never played the game, so I don't know.
Yeah, I have no words. I don't give a
It's
fuck.
barely a game. It's just it's a weird.
All I know is that the
way to
memes
chat with
drive me to
strangers.
suicidal thoughts.
It has a lot of suicide in it.
No.
What the fuck was I gonna say?
Suicide
about
is
badass.
badass.
I gotta look up the name of this game because they announced the game, like not announced the game. So there was like a spiritual successor to Suikoden, which is like an old RPG series, like JRPG series.
Yeah.
All right, so they finally showed off some footage
The
of that.
Union Chronicle.
Yeah, they showed that off at Xbox conference, and they announced a
is this one
sequel.
of those 3 you posted like a promotional art of?
Oh, it's Octopath Traveler, but a different game.
Oh.
But anyway, like, so they showed off some footage and gameplay of this game. I think it was Kickstarted, and they finally got some footage.
Union what again?
Footage of the
It's
game.
the game that had all those cool PNGs.
And so here's the thing about the game that's very strange. They announced a sequel to a game that's still in development, and they showed off gameplay of that game too.
Oh.
So that was pretty creative. And it was like a different genre.
What was it again? Union what?
I posted the name in the channel.
Yuden Chronicle, my bad.
Yeah, that's some balls to announce a sequel to your game and then start showing it off.
Oh,
My cat just tried to do
So
something.
they announced a sequel to a game that's not even out yet. Okay, I get it.
Couldn't tell if it was like a direct sequel, but it was definitely in the same series. I don't know where it's going. That was their JRPG thing that they
like
talked
the
about.
art style. Like
Yeah.
this shot right here is like, wow, I like the trees and the water. And like it reminds me of like just mellow days in summer. With less heat than I have to deal with now.
Well, that's very wholesome.
Oh look,
Very
it is
positive.
Octopath Traveler. I remember
Just
seeing that.
Octopath Traveler.
It's literally just Octopath.
No, well, the appeal behind Suikoden was like, you can have 100 party members. So, I'm
Why do
guessing
you
this
need
is
that?
like, why would
Is
you
it
need?
an RTS?
I don't think so. I think like you still make parties of 4, even though you can recruit like a shit ton of people.
I'll stick to Octopath, where they've got a select few, and those are.
They
presumably
didn't
better
even
fleshed
talk
out.
about that new game from the Octopath team, Triangle Strategy.
Oh, they have a new one coming out? Like a new game?
Yeah, they announced that like early this year.
Oh.
It's an actual like tactical game, like a Fire Emblem, but with the Octopath stuff.
See, this will be a reoccurring theme if people haven't figured this out already. There's a lot of stuff that they should have talked about that people actually give a fuck about, but they didn't talk about it. Here's another example of that.
Okay, I'm kind of
Is there
sick of
anything-
talking about Xbox. You guys want to move on? To
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
because there's still so much to talk about.
there
But you
is?
guys got bogged down in Halo.
All right, let's stop talking about this shit. What do you want to talk about, Vice?
We don't have to dwell on anything, but there are some things that definitely need to be brought up.
Okay.
Slime Rancher 2 is coming
Fuck!
out.
I forgot. Yes, that game was one of the few that actually captured my interest. I've got
Yes.
it fucking on my notes here. Slime Rancher 2. I love the first game. I actually reinstalled it and played it for like 5 minutes, and then uninstalled it.
I think I've
But I'm
seen someone
definitely
play
looking
that
forward to
one.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
cute.
I enjoy it because when Steam recommended to me, it said similar to other games you play, and the similar game it brought up was Fallout New Vegas.
What the fuck?
Wow.
So I can only assume Slime Rancher opens up with you getting shot in the head.
Did it?
Of course
It's an
it did.
isekai. It's an isekai!
Yeah.
Wait, isn't Fallout an isekai? You're just kind of flung into this whole
No,
post-apocalyptic
no,
world. Okay.
no, it's really not.
Fucking weeb.
However,
Yeah,
Dead
there are-
Money is an isekai, and I stand by that.
Let's see.
Let's see what else.
You know, you say Dead Money is, but I think you know what's actually more of an isekai, even more so? Probably Old World Blues.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're both isekai,
Yeah, sure.
depending on how we frame that. But speaking of other things, Psychonauts 2. That's another thing that they showed.
Oh, that's coming out? What?
That's coming out
Oh.
August, end of
Okay,
August.
that got me excited.
Oh, is that why
Um,
people were talking about Billy
Billy Bitch Cakes?
Billy Hatcher.
Richard Horvitz. Richard Horvitz.
Yeah, that's
Bitch
why I
cakes.
brought up Richard Horvitz, because he's in everything. He's getting a lot of work lately.
Yeah, someone specifically said that somewhere. Probably.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
He's in everything right now.
I never played the first one. I'll stick to actual Psychonautics.
I've yet to play it,
Oh,
but I knew a
God.
guy who was fucking obsessed with it during high school.
Yeah.
Did it ruin it for you?
No.
Okay.
People can't
Did it
ruin
fill you
shit
with
like
joy?
that for me.
Oh.
Oh, they can't
What
for me.
kind of shit did he talk about?
Well, he was the guy that whenever I tried playing guitar, he would put his fucking hand on the fucking strings and say no. Because he was better at guitar than me, so he wanted to discourage me. Probably because it was an ego thing. We called him Small Dick Matt. You know who I'm talking about, Vice?
Sounds
I know
awesome.
I know of him.
Yeah, he was the
Kinda-
drummer
that
of some
sounds-
band. He also held the world record to a specific speed stage in like an early Spyro game back on the PS1. Can't remember which one, but yeah.
So he's a big deal.
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal, and he also ran into a fucking mailbox like on the first day of being a mailman. So
Sounds like fucking Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
he's a character.
He's an isekai character too.
Oh yeah, we slept in the same bed at whenever we stayed the night at our friend's house. So we
Yeah.
always worded it as we would go to have sex.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't just sleep underneath the bed like the
No, we just
boogeyman
shared
should.
the bed, man, like fucking, straight men do.
Yeah, no clothes. Got to share body heat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Oh.
we got to share each other's sweat, so it keeps us cool.
Yeah. Got to share saliva.
Got to keep our penises cool.
Okay. Anyway, so and also Age of Empires 4. That's a game.
That
It's
came
coming-
out of fucking nowhere. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, the
This
second I
game's
saw it,
so
I'm like,
big.
this is totally got to be Age of Empires. When they finally said, I'm like, oh. I never played the other ones, but
Because you were asking that, I'm like, shit, I don't know. And then they came out with the title card, and like, okay. I never played the original games either, which I'm a big RTS fan, but I never fucked with those. But I
Isn't
guess
it-
it looks interesting.
Isn't Age of Empires the one they remade like 4 times?
I thought they only remade it once.
Nah, I must be thinking something else then.
I don't know.
I remember
My
people
friends still
complaining about
Play
that.
2 all the time.
But That is a classic series, so it is good to see it back, I guess.
Yeah.
probably
Hope
thinking
it's
Crusader
hope it's
Kings.
any good. Yeah, they didn't remake Crusader Kings at all.
Never mind. I am wrong.
I remember you asked that in the chat when we were watching it for Ancient Empires. Like, is this Crusader Kings?
That was a joke because 3 has just came out.
Well, it had that fucking guy in the armor. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Is it?
I wouldn't put it past them, but they just announced Victoria 3, so I doubt they have the resources for Crusader Kings 4. Let's see. Other than that, we've also got that Battlefield 2042, which
yeah.
I was incorrect. It does not have a battle royale feature.
I thought
You
it
were
did
right.
too.
I thought it did because everybody was talking about it like it did, but it
This
does
one is
not.
purely multiplayer, though. Yeah, no campaign.
I don't know,
No campaign.
but it looks interesting.
I
Yeah,
never
it
got
looks
into
like a
beyond,
game-
like 1942. I did like 1942 a lot. I played that when I was super young. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get this.
How far does the future shit go?
What do you mean?
Well, this isn't the first time they've made a future game, if that's what you're asking.
I mean, like how cool does it get? Like, how ridiculous? Like, are we talking Metal Gear Rising levels of like complete nonsense? Like, of course not.
They had
a
like
soldier.
they had like robot walkers and shit. That's all I remember from it.
Okay,
Like,
so-
Like Halo
I
4.
guess.
yeah, I was about to say, so it's fucking Halo 4.
Yeah.
How does
Except
it make
that
you
game was
feel?
good.
That we are closer to 2042 than 2000.
I feel like
I'm
fucking
imagining
die.
myself in my 50s
I don't know. It's
someday.
time has no meaning.
That's odd coming from you.
Well, I forget shit, so like, not really.
Oh.
Like,
To me, you
sometimes-
always told me about the grueling passage of time.
Oh well, I still think about that, but not as much anymore. Like,
Okay.
it's kind of been subdued as a general sense of not really apathy, but contentment has slowly sprouted in its place for the most part.
My sense of time has been so fucking distorted over the years, because of certain reasons. So I don't really give a shit. I'm sure the machine will
Right.
still be around at that point. So who cares?
Or are you crossing your arms when you say that and like doing a cone Chad pose? like a.
I can't see you. I can hear you moving, but I can't see you fucking.
I'll put it on screen for anyone who wants to see it.
Oh
Cone Chad.
no, I'm
pose.
looking at Battlefield.
Oh. Well, you're like, you don't give a shit. You know, like, you're too cool.
Well, I'm
for
too
that.
busy. I'm too busy killing chaos, dude.
Oh, right, the next presentation. Because we are here to kill chaos.
But,
I'm gonna wrap up Xbox with the final game that looked interesting, which is Stalker 2.
yeah, Stalker 2. That was another one that came out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, I heard about that, and what the fuck
I've
is
been-
going on? What's going on? This is real, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's-
Stalker 2.
Stalker 2.
And
Looks
they opened with
interesting.
that, which was a bold choice.
That's a cult classic game people never shut the fuck up about, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
apparently it was good. But I don't really care to play the games because they're like buggy messes. But I do want to read the book they're based on, Roadside Picnic. I'm gonna have to do that at some point.
Oh, I did not know that.
I mean, the original is 14 years old now.
Were there mutants and shit like in the first one? I always assumed the original Stalker was more realistic with its.
It's very much like if Metro was a bit more autistic and kind of went more of like a sort of a sim. I'm talking to somebody who hasn't fucking played the game. They had like anomalies and mutants and shit that Metro had, but they had a more challenging.
You're saying that it adds
like-
more immersive mechanics that require you to
So I've been
be
told.
more mindful.
Yeah.
Are we talking about that Stalker 2 reveal? Because that to me that was just another game with a pretty nice looking cutscene trailer and nothing much else.
Well, they showed gameplay trailer.
They did show gameplay.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? It didn't look very exciting from what I saw. I mean,
You have to be
I'm
just-
still-
You have
that
to be
in-
familiar with Stalker.
Yeah, that sounds right. It's Stalker. It doesn't look very interesting whenever someone shows me gameplay footage.
Well, I'm trying to say that, like, I'm sure if you played the first one, it looks great, but what I'm seeing was just, like, very cryptic and strange, and
That's the
I don't
idea.
know.
That's why I want to read that book, because the fucking story and the setting interest me way more than the games do.
I think I could get psyched into Stalker.
I mean, he walked around a bit.
It might become like a Death Stranding for me, where
I saw a floating pig.
I don't know what to say.
But he didn't throw, like, a piss bomb like in Death Stranding, so I wasn't sold on it.
He wasn't.
Fair.
He wasn't milking his fucking baby with his own nipples of Mountain Dew, so kind of bad.
He didn't drink any. He didn't drink any Monster Energy or like get sandals off of a tree that grows sandals.
Right,
It
it was
didn't.
that monster, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
There's no
Yeah.
rain aging people, so
Yeah, there were no cool Marvel superheroes beating the shit out of everything.
yeah, kind of stupid, kind of gay. 0 out of 10.
But yeah, the Xbox and Bethesda conference was probably the best one.
It was passable. It was something
And-
that I was not.
And still somehow the best one. What does that say
Yeah.
about the others?
Yeah.
Xbox and Bethesda win by default. Not because they
Yes.
had a fucking amazing presentation that blew my fucking butt cheeks apart.
It's they won the boxing match by score rather than knockout.
Yeah. This isn't like fucking golf. Low score doesn't win here.
Yes. But
Uh,
do you want to talk about Square Enix?
I want to talk about chaos.
they announced one new game for me, and that was their weird Team Ninja Final Fantasy 1 spin-off game that nobody asked for. And
Final
I think that's
Fantasy Paradise Lost.
And then
Brave
nobody fucking-
Origins.
yeah.
like
I don't
how it just
understand.
basically looked like scuffed Resonance of Fate, the stupid fucking gunplay and shit.
To
Or am I
me,
thinking of-
it looks really boring because it looks like
Yeah,
you're cutting
sorry.
through butter. There's no sense of impact I see, and that's saying that like even with the fucking like fancy finisher moves, like it looks like he just cuts through the enemy, and there's no feeling of weight, or like I don't know if you guys are as fucking finicky as me, but when you play a lot of action games, like you notice like when you feel an impact, when the game slows down for a second to sell with like a good sound effect, you notice that, and it actually goes a long fucking way in an action game, and I don't see any of that in this game. Just looks like
You
he's
don't
cutting
like
through
how
through the,
he turned a guy's head into crystals and feel the pain, and they just smashed it.
he did that a million times. I don't like it.
Yeah.
At
Well,
least they're
that was
living
the
up to
first
Final
dungeon of the
Fantasy name.
game.
What if that's just the entire game?
I
What if
don't
it's
know.
just a
Then
really
it's
long
gonna-
single dungeon?
Hey, look,
No
if
one
we're
knows.
working with ifs, if it
What if
is
it's a fucking
that
straight
way-
line like Final Fantasy 13?
This could be like, because,
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 3 had a similar thing, because it's a big-ass fucking tower, and so is Devil
Look,
May Cry 3 a big-ass tower.
I believe in Nomura's vision of the story about
Of an angry man who's
Yeah,
here
so-
to kill chaos.
You guys
The
are gonna
only
quit
good thing
hating
to come out of that fucking shit show was that stupid meme.
It's fucking hilarious.
chaos.
20 minutes. They made
Yeah.
us sit through 20 minutes
Yeah, let's
of
take
a
this up from the top.
walkthrough for their Guardians of the Galaxy game.
They basically streamed the entire fucking game. And Wesker, if you wanted to like scroll through Vice and I's fucking messages as it was happening,
Yeah, I
and
saw.
you could see
it was
like the
like half
glimmer of
this is
hope
just
that we
Marvel.
fucking had right as it fucking started, and then all of a
'Cause it
sudden we
was-
see this fucking Marvel shit.
It was Eidos
for 20
Montreal,
minutes.
right?
Yeah. and
Yes.
It made us think, okay, maybe there's a chance.
Deus
saw
Ex,
that.
like, think about it though, like, for fuck's sake, you had the failure, the abysmal failure of Cyberpunk 2077. But the hype for that game was real in the sense that people fucking bought it, people wanted to like it.
I'm so sorry,
This
guys.
was such an easy goddamn move. There was a fucking Deus Ex-shaped hole in the fucking industry. It was primed. And they didn't
cram
fucking do
Marvel
it.
through it.
The stars all aligned, and you looked up, and it was just fucking Rocket Raccoon fucking teabagging you right above your fucking head.
Such a piece of shit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What the
You know,
fuck
I
even
think
was
Square
that?
Enix is just trying to piss us off, because, like, They got me and Brandon with the fucking Final Fantasy, and they got you guys with the fucking Marvel.
What I suspect
I didn't
happened.
actually.
All right. Because I read, and I was talking about this before we started recording. Apparently, not only do they have the Marvel license, so I don't know by how much sway Disney and crew have over Squeenix now. It doesn't exactly fill me with confidence. I'll say that, especially now. But
Yeah.
Marvel paid for half this fucking presentation, if not maybe over. I don't know the specific amount. And it shows because basically what happened is they spent over half the fucking presentation talking about a Guardians of the Galaxy game that nobody gives a fuck about, and an update to Avengers, their fucking whatever MMO piece of shit that nobody played because it was a bad game. Like, yeah, we fucking get it, Squeenix. You spent how many fucking millions of dollars on this piece of garbage? It's who fucking cares? Who's gonna fucking play this because you've got a fucking Wakanda update or whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna fucking play your shit. Cut your loss and make something good that people actually care about, like fucking Deus Ex
or another Spider-Man game.
So as far as like looking at the Square Enix presentation as a whole presentation, as a whole press conference, it's I think they only had 2 new game announcements, and that was at the beginning, and then it was at the end.
Yeah, and none of them were good. I like how
No, man, they got that live service Tower of Babylon sort of thing.
Oh, right, that fucking game. Dude, I was fucking hearing someone describe that game to me, and it was like, oh, we're taking Nier Automa's combat and making it simpler, and I'm like, but it was already fucking so simple.
how can you make it? Leave it to Platinum to just fuck up something that was already kind of fucked up to begin
Yeah,
with.
because like that, it's like the fucking easiest iteration of a Platinum Games fucking character action game. I have no idea. Like, yeah, you take away like the pod shooting, I guess, and it's technically simpler. Is that what they're doing? I don't know.
I guess they
fuck's
want to make it
going
one
on?
button like fucking Drakengard 1.
We're talking about Tower of Babel or Babylon 5 or Babylon.
Yeah, I'm aware. The
78.
piece of shit game they're working on.
No,
Babylon
Brandon's
76.
confused.
Okay,
I wasn't
yeah,
paying that much attention to
Tower
the
of
Square
Babel.
Enix stream because I was very
It
bored.
shows.
It's a Platinum
Well,
Games.
What's there to fucking talk about? Like, and they did. There was 2 things I was looking forward to. Okay, Deus Ex. We've already established that's fucked. And I like how they didn't even take the time to show a trailer or even say, hey, you know what, we're working on it. What this shows me, and what I think happened here, is they interpreted the failure of Cyberpunk
As
to
a
be
no-touch zone.
as a no-touch zone. Like, okay, people don't like Cyberpunk games, even though if you have actual fucking eyeballs and like more than 2 brain cells, you can find out that's actually the opposite case. The problem is Cyberpunk's just a shitty fucking game.
Yeah, like, you can't just, like, not see the fucking spaghetti shadows fucking flying through the air like it's some sort of bewitched hour of the
That's
night.
what happened to
second issue-
Metroid.
Is that they fucked the release on Mankind Divided. Mankind Divided was a great game. It's buggy as shit. They rushed the release date. Of course they did. But they fucked it in a PR, from a PR perspective, like right before the game came out, because they had this stupid fucking ordeal where they came out with like the Jensen stories, which were basically content that they cut from the game, and then they created this plan, right? This pre-order plan. If we make this much money in pre-orders by a certain date, you'll get this DLC for free. And this is for a pre-order exclusive content, by the way. So if you pre-order it, then you're the one who gets it for free. And then if you do like however much, you get this Jensen story, and then that one. And it was
So this is like
fucking
a
horrible.
fucking trade-off investment kind of thing they're kind of playing with.
It was like
almost
a Kickstarter
It was.
stretch
It was like a-
goal.
It's like a Kickstarter for a game that was already coming out anyway. But they
Weird.
cut content from the game. People didn't like that. They blamed Square Enix for it. But instead of Square Enix being taking a step back and be like, okay, we fucked up here, they blamed it on the game. They said, oh, Deus Ex just isn't profitable. No, the fucking game was fine. The problem is you fucking cut the shit out of it to sell your fucking pre-orders.
I want to
And
go.
then you rush release so that it's buggy as shit, and I have to set my fucking affinity down to 8 cores now just to play it.
I want to go back. What was the turning point for Square Enix? Was it Final Fantasy 13? When did Deus Ex come out? When did
To be fair,
The turning
Human
point
Revolution
for
came out.
Square Enix was
They
when
have-
SquareSoft became Square Enix.
Okay, so
that's one
they
turning
acquired
point,
they acquired Eidos at a point where Deus Ex Human Revolution was almost done. I think people fail to realize this, like, Eidos had been working on, it was still called Deus Ex 3 at that time. And they had almost fucking finished it, but then they, at some point, Squeenix bought them out. And then they made some design changes, but ultimately the game was, I think, left reasonably intact, and what we got was a fucking masterpiece, right? Yeah. Human Revolution was just a fucking stellar game. And Mankind Divided, like, you know, Eidos still knows how to make a good fucking Deus Ex game. I fully believe that. I've seen that with Mankind Divided.
But it's weighed down by the suits up top.
Yeah, because you can tell, like, yeah, they are in full force at this point. They are fully acquired from start to finish with this project.
That's so fucking lame. Brandon, I want to say that a lot of people say that, but they think that, like, after Square Enix became Square Enix and not just Squaresoft and Enix working together all the time, we got all those Kingdom Hearts games after 1, including 2, of course, and we also got The World Ends With You. So we still got, like, a bunch of great games.
And there are still good games that are occasionally churned out, like Automata was a good game.
That still feels like a fluke.
It was a fluke. I think the problem was they let Yoko Taro actually do something he wanted to do, and that's why it was a good game. And that was actually the second thing I was looking forward to. Was seeing Yoko Taro there, because we have already had a fucking Replicant remaster release, which was stellar. I'll talk about that later.
Dude, I really like that Ghost Design Reincarnation. I might just have to play it.
I am actually going to be checking that game out just because. Let me get to that. We also have apparent rumors that there was a Datamine Switch release. I'm like, okay, maybe Yoko Taro will be there for a bit to talk about this shit. No, what we got, what we got was random footage of Automata for like a second while they're trying to describe their new game, which, great fucking first impression. You have to describe another game.
Yeah, Babylon 5.
To help us understand your piece of shit that you're working on now. And then you've got like a fucking microsecond where they talk about, play Near Reincarnation, the new mobile game. Like, oh, fuck. When I said I wanted Yoko Taro, this is not what I fucking meant. He wasn't even there. I'm like, where the fuck is he?
Dude, if he was there, dude, they can't let him loose in front of all those normal people. You know what would happen? He'd start screaming obscenities. He does that, right? He fucking screams at his fucking audience all the time and just curses, and he has no fucking filter.
People would have fucking loved it. People would have loved it. They loved him in fucking 2015 when he showed up.
He's not PC enough for that fucking event.
The problem is that Marvel bought out over half the fucking presentation, so him and everybody else who's got projects and shit that we're actually interested in gets shafted as fuck. He's sidelined. He's still in the fucking basement. He's probably got a gun to his head right now. Dude, Yoko Taro fucking blinked twice on Twitter if you need help, man.
It wasn't a live event. They could have post-productioned any dumb shit he did.
Yeah. They could have fucking... And nothing stopped him. And nobody stopped him when he was in fucking interviews like, oh shit, Square Enix.
He literally fucking blasphemed Square Enix on their goddamn trailer.
I love that. T-shirt. That was one of the best moments from the industry, was seeing him just fucking roll around on the floor, stealing a fucking shirt, and then halfway through he's like, yeah, Square Enix.
Yeah, have you seen...
I do love that.
Have you seen the fucking thing where he just fucking mocks Final Fantasy the entire presentation? It's like a fucking... He's got like a spreadsheet or something. He's got like a fucking bar chart.
Yes, I remember that. Fuck! It was like a board meeting, and he shows up. And he's like, yeah, this is what we need from our game. Yeah. And then he's describing like all these shitty aspects of Final Fantasy just to make Automata more marketable.
Yeah, and I'll never forget the fucking live answer he gave to a fan where he fucking, the person calls out and he says, "Louder! I can't hear you!" And then they fucking have to scream so he can respond. And then he talks
like a fucking drill sergeant.
He talks to the pretty fucking 2B cosplayer next to him that works for him. And she has to translate and say that, so Yoko Taro says that he likes Final Fantasy's flashy world, so if he can combine his shitty scenarios with the flashy world of Final Fantasy, he would be very happy.
I love everything about Yoko Taro. He's the only good thing left from Square Enix, and I'm depressed as fuck that he's at their mercy now. But like, they show a second of Reincarnation, it's like, Okay, so it's been 5 years now. Automata sold, what was it, like, we're working on almost 6 million copies now, to this day? Where's an actual proper Nier game, or better yet, where's a fucking Drakengard remake? Where is any of this shit?
Where is Far Automata?
All they gotta
Where the
do is
fuck
just
is
put
Far
booty in
Automata?
each of them.
Yoko Taro,
Right
I
around
was
the
reading
booty.
this fucking interview where he was like, yeah, I don't think Replicant's gonna sell well, and then he attributed Automata's
sorry, kitty
sales
cat.
to being a fluke, and I'm like, no, it wasn't a fluke, it was your marketing.
He literally could have just
the
made
stars
Kanye
aligned
have a
here.
bigger ass, and then the game would sell more.
The stars, well, he could have given her a better outfit too. She looks like shit. Like,
Hey,
even if it's revealing.
I
Like,
needed to take a bathroom break. I kinda gotta go
Okay,
for like
I'll hold your
15
hand
minutes.
while we do that. Okay.
You hold his
Yeah, I
hand.
don't
You
want to
hear me
miss out
screaming.
on the Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, I'll whisper it in
That's-
your ear while we're talking. While I'm holding your hand. Don't worry about it.
Way down the line. You got time.
Okay.
So anyway, it's like, yeah, that's a fluke. No, it's not. It's that you had 2B, an iconic fucking character design that somebody spent a lot of fucking time on
Yeah,
as your
she's got a lot
as
of
your
detail.
as the face of the game.
Like the boots and the thigh highs ending at a very specific point. We're very particular. Someone fucking thought about that for literal hours.
You got the maid
space.
outfit. You've got the fucking stupid feathers. You got the blindfold. Like, the hair. It was gonna be iconic.
I wish they
You've
spent
got-
more time with 9S's design. Actually, I think his is kind of lacking.
I mean, it was serviceable. Like, and he was like the actual protagonist. So I see what you mean, but
It feels more generic than hers.
the stars aligned here, and it's easy to see why, because they let Yoko Taro do what the fuck he wanted to do, and he made a great game because of it, and all Square Enix did was fucking market it. You realize, at least that's what I'm assuming, given that it was a game of actual quality, and Square Enix somehow had their name attached to it. What baffles me is, like, why can't they just figure this shit out? Like, why don't they do the same thing with Deus Ex? Just let Eidos Montreal make a fucking Deus Ex game, keep their fucking fat asses out of it, and just market the shit. Just market it.
Well, that would
And it'll
require
fucking
Suit
sell.
understanding anything that isn't fucking money graphs.
But they'll still make money. Fucking Automata made hands over fist
No,
for the
they don't
exact same reason.
understand though. They don't understand how they made the money. They just see the trends and go by the trends, man.
Yeah, I
They're not
know,
smart
I know.
enough.
They're listening to their second-rate marketing advisors who probably got a fucking degree in social justice.
Yeah, they literally don't understand video games. It's not their job. Their job is money.
God, remember when that game first came out and Yoko Taro single-handedly just avoided a PR nightmare on Twitter when some fucking SJW called him out for like, hey, 2B's too revealing. He's like, you know what? You're right. I think this requires some further investigation. So send all your fucking 2B porn to me in a fucking zip file.
The amazing, immaculate move.
He said
of
that
Yoko
shit
Taro.
and everybody shut the fuck up about it. It's like, that's how you handle that stupid cancellation shit.
Yeah,
That's how you
I
do
don't
it.
believe people are making porn of my character. I need to see this. Send me the evidence.
Send me the evidence. I'll report back with a solution later.
Did he ever report back?
Fuck no. I think people still send him updated archives though.
Wow. I remember I had the
Fucking
link to the
legend.
fucking zip file. Yeah, I have it downloaded on my computer right now. I remember.
Oh, legendary! Holy shit!
And a lot of them
God,
were
what a-
duplicates. It was kind of stupid, but yeah.
What a fucking god though. Like, holy shit! Just let him run your fucking PR team too, and I swear you'll never have another problem like that again.
For real. Have you ever seen his weird rants on Animal Crossing?
No.
He plays Animal Crossing. He just talks about it. Like, he's always talking about, like, the animals and their weird way of living and, like, wondering what they eat or something.
It's a fair question. I wonder if he's gonna like eventually continue that and like devolve it into some weird shit post where it's like, oh yeah, I wonder what happens if Isabel gets red eyes and starts mutilating her friends.
Yeah.
He's probably lobbying to get the next Nier game set in the Animal Crossing world.
That'd be awesome. What if he just did that? He could do that. Yoko Taro could do
Fucking buy
that.
it. Yeah, fuck that.
You know,
He-
it'd
he
be like off-brand Animal Crossing, but he'd do it.
He could make it happen. The problem is that like the system is against him, and they would prefer him to be locked in the fucking basement in a cage making a stupid gotcha game.
They keep him tied to the radiator.
And I feel like that gotcha game, like, I can tell just from interviews he doesn't seem too confident about it, and I can fucking understand why, because it's a gotcha game. I'm really curious to see how he handles it, though.
Okay, hold on. I just found the fucking blurb. So Yoko Taro states, I played the 3DS Dobumori Animal Crossing, and you know the raccoon makes you get a mortgage without agreeing to it? It was like the Lemon Shock, the bankruptcy of Lemon Brothers, so I want to get revenge on him in the mobile version. I was kind of sad because there are fewer things you can do in the mobile app compared to the 3DS version. The fact that you have less freedom makes the ditch forest seem even darker. Let's take, for example, what the monsters eat. The rabbits seem to be of the normal herbivorous variety, but can be seen in this game grilling and eating fish. Also in this game, pigs and cows enjoy barbecue, but you can't see what they're grilling. What is going on in this ecosystem? When you run out of things to eat, do you resort to cannibalism? Is there so much difference in the intelligence of birds and fish? If you walk on two legs and talk, does that mean you won't be hunted? Is the value of your life determined by your intelligence? There are so many interesting themes hidden in the game. Also, I want to say something about the unreasonable shopping. You need to predict what these monsters want, like an Esper, human who possesses ESP, and give those things to them to get your big reward. What is this a metaphor for? Why do you have to collect things that are right next to the monsters to make them happy, like a slave? I guess this represents the divisions between people in class society. I haven't put any furniture or anything in my camp except a kerosene tank. I started this game to get revenge on that raccoon, Tanakichi, but now I have a different purpose. I'll enjoy playing this game until I burn that dark forest down.
Holy shit. Yoko Taro is an excellent troll. If anybody ever wants to know, like, how you go from Drakengard ending E to Nier, look no further than that blurb.
Yeah.
He's a madman. He's unrestrained energy.
He is beautiful chaos.
He is chaos that can't be killed no matter how fucking edgy your protagonist is. He is the essence of fucking entropy.
We need to kill Yoko Taro.
I don't think Yoko Taro qualifies as living. He's
mean,
pure energy.
For all we know, his hands could be gloves. Like, we don't know what he looks like under that mask. He could actually be like a machine life form. We don't know.
And you've seen the way he claps.
Oh yeah, is it like just like a full on like he's like patting his hands together?
Yes.
Fucking great, yeah. If we can get like footage of him just clapping or something.
Yeah, I'll put it up. Oh yeah, this.
It's like a fucking alien.
What year did he present Automata? Was that way back in 2017?
I think it's No, because it came out in 2017. It was 2015 when that game was first announced, I believe. And that's
2015.
Also when. And he started like spamming people with like stage plays and shit. It's like it's weird because every time he gets a new game, ever since like at least what was it, fucking Gestalt and Replicant, he'll like release a bunch of, people call it expanded lore. I call it shitposting Psy-Op, where he'll create all this batshit lore for the internet to uncover, almost like a fucking arc, and then he'll make it. So he had like that one Yorha stage play, which I think it came out. Don't quote me on it, but I think it came out before Automata was announced. I'm not sure, but that's the one where it's like A2 doing the thing, and then he had a bunch of other, like short stories, like Yorha Boys or whatever. And it was all to get people primed for that fucking game's release. I love that shit.
I forgot he was a VTuber for like a day.
Yeah, fuck. There he is, dude. God, I want to see him in VR chat more than ever looking at that picture.
Be a beautiful thing.
Don't ever let Yoko Taro find out about VR chat, or he will never leave.
We'll just say the maddest shit, but no one will understand him because he's speaking Japanese.
It will require everybody in that fucking map to dress like 2B and just like do dance emotes around them for the rest of eternity. It'll be like that, and they'll just randomly talk a bunch of shit about about lore or whatever, and it's just a meme. It's just a shit post, but people are gonna take it seriously.
It really is a work.
But yeah, that's it. Like, I was so fucking mad when I saw Square Enix's presentation. There he is, dude.
There he is.
I only had one more thing to say about the Square Enix presentation, in that they announced Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are getting Pixel Remaster trademark, and that could mean anything. It's probably going to be. I think they're going to use sprites that are worse than what are in the original Final Fantasy games.
Oh, please no.
Because there were different sprites used for the characters in the trailer when they were doing their little visual pizzazz thing, like doing a little show reel of like Final Fantasy games throughout the years. And people notice that like Locke and Terra had like weird looking sprites that aren't in Final Fantasy VI, and they look kind of worse. But that's speculation. Maybe that was just for the trailer, because it wasn't in gameplay. It was just them like moving across the screen.
Yeah, I feel like if they wanted to show stuff, they would have been done full screen. So I don't think we've gotten a real look at that yet, and I don't know why they even bothered announcing that way, because
I don't know why they bothered showing up at all.
Seems like a waste
to
of
cushion
money.
the blow for Strangers of Paradise.
They're gonna be mobile game.
They're gonna be on Steam. They're gonna be
They
mobile
announced
games on Steam.
They announced what, like 3 mobile games?
To be fair, that Final Fantasy VII port everybody plays was a mobile game.
It also played itself if you pressed the right fucking button.
No, I'm talking about the PS1 version.
Oh,
That's been ported to everything by now. That was just like some mobile game
That was
version.
the PS1. Oh yeah, okay. There's a port of the mobile version. Okay.
Yeah. That's what you play on Steam and on the PS4s and the Xbones and the
and I don't even
Switchers.
care about that franchise, but I like how they, out of their own fucking greed, they made the fucking shitty remake fucking episodic, and they've yet to announce anything on the next episode. They announced a new Final Fantasy entry, and they said fuck all about it. So I don't know what the fuck's going on.
And now
with
we're here to kill chaos.
Yeah, they're too busy killing chaos.
They basically did a final mix of the first episode of Final Fantasy VII.
None of
and
these
that was
fucking
Integrate.
games are coming out.
So Integrate just came out recently, and I don't know but fuck shit about it. So,
I probably won't even get it.
because I think Zach's in it, Yuffie's in it, some other person I don't care about is probably, because I don't know that
The
much about Final
villain
Fantasy.
from Dirge of Cerberus is in it for some reason.
Dirge of Cerberus.
Dude,
You know what?
That means we're gonna see Genesis. We're gonna see Gact in Final Fantasy VII.
I meant to bring that up last time we were talking about, the Turning Point Square Enix, not during this conversation, but like a one long time ago when we were talking about, it's like, where 10-2 was like the start of all that. Dirge of Cerberus, didn't that come like right after?
Around then, yeah, it was a PS2 game.
That's pretty
It was an
magical.
era.
And
I do
you would
think-
say nobody wanted that, right?
Well, who could want it? Fucking Vincent was an optional character. They could go the entire game without meeting. And sure, he had like a big following online because, he was like goth and scary and he had like, cool powers and shit. He's like a vampire. But, like...
I forgot his name was Vincent. I keep calling him Genesis Valentine.
No, no, it's Vincent Valentine. But there is a character called Genesis in Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core who is literally Gact. I'm sure everyone knows who Gact is. Because the crickets chirp.
Sorry, the most I know about Crisis
Musician?
Core is that
Yeah.
my brother had it on PSP, and there was like a slot machine move you could use, and it looked like a pretty fun game.
Gact
know-
was pretty much like a Japanese Elvis in the 2000s.
I like Gact. I know him because he made the awesome fucking outro for Technolize, or the ending theme.
Well,
That
there
was
you go.
super good.
Did you know that Gact has his own PS2 game? Where you play
wanna
as like
play
a
it.
fucking like Chinese like Dynasty Warrior. It's like
Well, I
an
have my own
adventure game.
PS2 game.
Why? I would think you would play as Gact in that game. What the fuck?
Well, the character is Gact, and the game was
Okay.
made for Gact, I think.
I like how. I wonder if they're ever going to do a crossover between that and like 50 Cent's Blood Money.
They should. Just a crossover. Or they should just both come to Smash. Fuck it. It's Mugen.
Sure.
Alright, are we done with Square Enix now, guys? Or anything
I would
else?
like to do a closing thought, if I may.
Okay,
And
we'll
I don't
talk
know
more
if
about
I
Nier later, but yeah.
say. I just like how Squeenix has all of these IPs that they're sitting on and doing absolutely nothing with. Remember Breath of Fire? Does anybody
What?
fucking remember that game? Yeah, exactly. And they're
Talk
probably
about-
never going to do anything again with them, because what I feel like they want to do is they've got Marvel IPs that they think they can market to their Western audience, and Final Fantasy for their weeb and Japanese audiences.
Breath of Fire is Capcom.
Look, it's got links to Squaresoft too. I think they're the IP holders now.
I see a lot of publishers
I do
throughout
too.
the series, but the
And I
devs
know
have.
Square Enix is blamed for not having new Breath of Fire.
What about a new Air Guys? No one talks about
I've
that.
never seen
The
Square Enix
fuck is
blamed
that?
for it.
It's like a fucking old, kind of like shmup, I think. I never played it,
Oh.
but I know it.
Repeat what it was called?
Air Guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, never heard of it.
It's a
But
PS1
yeah,
game.
again, there you go. They've got all this shit, and I think they just want to sit in a comfortable revenue stream, or at least what they perceive to be a comfortable revenue stream.
I'm looking
where-
at Breath of Fire 6, and it's like a bunch of women who are like still in the process of getting dressed, but they had to run out and have an adventure.
Wow, Capcom.
I can't
Wait.
complain.
This is a mobile game?
Wait.
Capcom made Breath of Fire 6 a mobile game?
Why
and
is
it's
the
in
art style
Japan
so
still?
different?
Yeah, where's the blue... Oh, there's the blue hair boy. I see him. No, is that a... Those are boobs.
What
It's
the-
very strange.
I like that old art style more. It's a blue hair guy.
Yeah. And really good pixel art, the Breath of Fire games. Well, yeah, we can... So Capcom didn't show off anything new. That was
Hey,
funny.
you're missing the PC gaming event, which we can gloss over real fucking quick.
Yes.
So this was fucking hilarious. Okay, they had like what was it, like an hour presentation where they show a bunch of games that nobody fucking gives a shit about. The only reason I watched it is because Vice like pinged me or something. It's like, hey dude, Gabe Newell's apparently going to be on. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah,
So
they
I
said we've got a special announcement from Gabe Newell later in the show.
So I turned Vinesauce Joel's stream on because that's the only way I'll fucking watch E3. And I'm sitting there and they're constantly teasing fucking Gabe Newell like he's the fucking final boss of a fucking video game.
They keep
Like,
dropping hints. They keep referencing.
Newell.
They
They're
keep
foreshadowing
referencing
Newell.
Valve titles like Half-Life Alyx.
You think
Out
he's
of
a
place.
Conan boss? Like what the fuck?
And just because they released Half-Life Alyx, you maybe think, well, maybe they're actually going to announce something good, right? Like maybe,
They specifically mentioned like, oh yeah, after
Yeah.
the release of Half-Life Alyx, you'll want to hear this.
maybe there's going to be momentum in fucking Steamworks again.
And what happens, Vice? What happens?
My predictions were he was going to talk about the new artifact. He was going to talk about Half-Life 3 and nobody was going to give a shit. Or, most likely, in my mind, he was going to talk about Valve's new VR headset.
I was thinking it was going to be the VR thing.
But
And
none
I
of these
thought
things happen.
everything else that Vice said was giving him too much credit, but we were both giving them too much credit. And why did we give him too much credit? What did he say for
Because
2 minutes?
He was on for literally 2 minutes to say that Steam has its own thing coming up where they've got demos.
Demos, mind you, which have been a feature since before Steam actually opened to other fucking IPs. When Steam was just like fucking Half-Life 2 and shit, you could get demos for those games. I don't know what the fuck this is gonna achieve.
They're finally catching up to consoles, guys.
They're finally
What?
catching up to shit they already did.
What, you guys don't like demos?
What are you talking about? You guys don't have...
You guys don't have phones?
Don't have demos.
What is
for
this,
Steam?
some out-of-season Halloween spooktacular?
And now the
Damn.
new Steam Premium online service.
He is so out of touch. He's coasting on this unwarranted fame that he has.
Gabe Newell is the Wheel of Fortune.
I actually saved. When Vice was doing a speculation, I went online and I got a fucking gif of like Kanye doing like a deadpan stare as he blinks towards like a camera, and I was gonna react to that in case he posted Half-Life 3,
Yep,
but he
Kanye
didn't, so I
stare.
used it anyway because they fucking just said, "Oh yeah, there's a Steam update for
We
a
now
feature you
support
already have
full
access to."
screen.
I remember downloading the Duke Nukem Forever demo back in what was it, 2012? was the last demo I fucking downloaded from them.
I think I got the update and I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, because it's almost like it's insignificant or something.
I mean, I wanted to play Trials of Mana, and I downloaded the demo on Steam, and I tried it.
And we're going to lump the future games in with this, because I don't know about you guys. I was watching that whole thing, and suddenly they started talking like it was the future games event too. And I didn't know where the PC gaming event ended and future games began. It was super fucking confusing.
It ended when the robot killed Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, okay.
Why did I scream fucking cringed in the middle of the show? Can't remember why.
Anything. Also, I'm just now remembering that I don't remember the names of anything Devolver actually announced besides Wizard with a Gun, but there we go. There was the announcement I got out of Devolver, Wizard with a Gun.
What about Warbutt?
What is that?
Warbutt is that game that Nintendo showed on Nintendo Switch a couple years ago. You guys don't remember Warbutt?
Never heard of it.
Was that weird, strategy game?
Yeah, Warbutt.
Yeah, I remember Warbutt.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Wargroove?
Yeah, Warbutt.
Yeah.
That game, Wargroove, has been out for years.
What about it? What
Okay.
are you talking about Warbutt?
I mean, you're right. I'm just trying to make sense of everything in my life, and I'm projecting.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Brandon. I think you should need to lay off the herb.
It's true. You know, I just wanted to be a Resident
Always
Evil.
go into Olive Garden hidden that herb. That pepperoni.
I wish you wouldn't. I have Italian habits. I don't want to disclose any further.
Yeah, that was PC gaming. It was honestly really fucking funny, just because of how miserable it was. I
just
laughed out loud at that.
Generic trash.
The only way they could get people to watch it, and they fucking knew it, is if they fucking teased Gabe Newell to no end. And only at the end did they fucking show him. And when they showed him, my god, was it a letdown.
What the fuck? This lasted an hour and 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch it.
You didn't miss much.
You know, I'm kind of paranoid where I'm always like, man, what if they just show a really me game that no one else gives a fuck about, but I would?
I can almost guarantee you that did not happen this year.
Okay.
So anyway, how about that Capcom?
Oh, Wesker, if you want to put the fucking where the video games at anywhere in this fucking video, here's the time.
Where the video games? I can't breathe.
Because that's how you sum up this entire fucking presentation. Did they announce anything new? Did they announce any games?
I know you didn't get a lot of prep done before getting in here to talk about E3. I would have loved for you to watch them talk about the Capcom stream. That was what was it, 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
And they're like, we know it's been a while since you last heard from Resident Evil, but we'd like to announce DLC.
Motherfucker, we just got Resident Evil 8 fucking a month ago. What are you talking about?
That's what they said. That's exactly what they said. And then they splashed it right on screen. And they're like, coming soon, Resident Evil 8 DLC, and also Resident Evil cameos in Dead by Daylight. I don't give a fuck.
Lady Dimitrescu's fat tits.
Which both predictions I made about Capcom were pretty obvious, and it was, what are we going to get? Resident Evil 8 DLC and Monster Hunter content.
They didn't show any Resident Evil DLC. They just talked about the existence of it.
Oh, that's even worse. So, you can't even tell if it's good or bad.
Yeah. The Monster Hunter shit, none of that was new. It's just telling you stuff that they would normally tell you in, little update trailers, what the free DLC... Basically, what the things that they give you anyway were for Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is about to come out, and also Monster Hunter Stories 2 gets a trailer in the Nintendo Direct, so this was completely redundant. And then Monster Hunter Rise, which has been out for a while, and all they did was tell us, hey, there's some free gear you can get. And then the last thing they showed off, which I wasn't too terribly offended by this because it doesn't get enough recognition. They were showing off the Ace Attorney game and the upcoming collection, and it has the great Ace Attorney, which is a game we've never had in North America outside of Japan.
Is that what you said in the past?
Yes. With your ally, what was his name? Herlock Sholmes? Yeah, that's a cool guy.
I've never played Ace Attorney, even though I probably should.
Well, they went on like a 10-minute Ace Attorney tutorial. I never thought I'd see that. That was pretty spectacular. What the fuck? I mean, I'm fine with the game getting some recognition. I'm sure everybody was watching it as they were waiting for an announcement. But an announcement for anything new did not come.
Remember Mega Man? What is it with Capcom like hating the fuck out of the shit, the shit that fucking made them?
I don't know. Well, they made a Ghosts and Goblins recently, and that was like...
Is it even good?
It was unexpected. And
I know it was unexpected, but was it good?
I want to try it. I hear good things.
Okay. Yeah, they had fucking nothing. There was no reason for them to show up.
That's sad.
They did not deserve their own conference.
You know what they should have done? Is they should have had Xbox mention them for them.
You know what that could have been? That could have been Marvel getting the fuck out of fucking Capcom shit. And that could have been Marvel vs. Capcom 4, and like it's not fucking fucking MCU shit, and it's actually like fun and colorful again. Could have been MVC4, but you know.
And
Take your word for it. At this point, anything with the word Marvel in it has me like visibly wince, like just reel back in fear.
No, I kind of feel that too. I'm really glad that Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't have any Star Wars or Marvel in it. Like they could have easily just slipped it in, but they resisted.
Big Hero 6.
But is that Marvel?
Yeah, Big Hero 6 is Marvel.
Well, I wouldn't even know, so kudos.
Gotcha. They got you with their big sacks of money and funny superheroes.
Yeah, but when I say Marvel, I mean like Sora meets Spider-Man, or a fucking secret boss with Darth Vader or something.
What if Sora met a Final Fantasy character?
Kingdom Hearts 3? That's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
Yeah. What if you fought Sephiroth?
What if Final Fantasy Versus 13 became real again, and it's kicking off the next part of the Kingdom Hearts series?
I think about Kingdom Hearts 3 sometimes. It keeps me up. Also, that Nomura's like, no, Sora's going to a Shibuya that's not like the Shibuya in the other game that we make, even though that same character cameoed and said, see you in Shibuya, and then he ended up in Shibuya. No, that's a different place.
I just remembered that Versus 13 shit, and I all of a sudden, I just remembered how much I actually need to play Remind, and, like, how badly I think Final Fantasy Versus 13 actually needs to become real, because the concept was actually interesting. It said, unlike these fucking boring-ass, we need to kill chaos games.
That game's gonna be fucking awesome, and you know it.
It's gonna be Berserk, but with fucking Prompto
What's that quote from that fucking shit post that was like that had me sold on this game? Where is it? Well, let me find it. I will buy this game.
I am chaos.
If
Team
if
Edward.
is an actual thing, I will buy this game.
Yeah.
Chaos is Team Edward, but I haven't seen Twilight yet, so I don't know if I'll agree with that. If that's a real quote, which obviously it's fucking not.
Yeah.
Obviously, but if it was, I would fucking pre-order the shit out of that game.
Yeah. So I've been obsessed with Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, because I guess I've been obsessed. I've been reading all the interviews, like all 2 of them that came out about the game, because people were asking, what the fuck is this? And it hasn't really gotten off on the right foot. Even when the demo was being put out, it was like corrupted, so they had to like take down the demo, put it back up, and extend the period where people could play it. It seems like they're pretty open to feedback about the game in terms of like difficulty and stuff, and gameplay. It has a lot of stuff I want in action RPG, like different weapons and jobs and
I'm
fucking
zoning
magic.
out. What are you talking about again?
Well,
How about Shadow
talking
the
about
Hedgehog?
that. I'm talking about it's like an action RPG with things that I want in an action RPG.
No, but what game?
I was talking
I got
about
that stuff.
Chaos.
the Strangers of Paradise. Yeah, Chaos.
Oh, Chaos.
Yeah. You can look up some. You already looked up some demo footage. I like the.
I need to watch more of it to get a better idea.
We got this new shirt. I hope Chaos likes it. I really admire his opinion.
And I love the hate boner. It's also. I talked about this at one point. That guy with the green eyes and pink hair. That is just. That is the lightning
It's
from Final Fantasy
Prompto
15.
merged with lightning. If you remember Prompto from Final Fantasy 15, the punk.
I do. Yeah.
Can I
But
just
something about
remind
The bro with
any
the
of
gun.
you? If I could just remind any viewer real quick, we're talking about Capcom.
Capcom didn't.
That goes to show how little we give a shit
We
about
Yeah.
fell
Capcom.
back on Square Enix.
They did less than Square Enix, and I guess I'm just stalling. Wait, did we
We've already
Well, no,
been
I
about
was
for
saying
2
that.
hours. We're still on E3. You guys want to move forward to the next company?
There's nothing to
Yeah.
talk about with Capcom anyway. It's I just find it funny that the only thing we have to talk about with Capcom is
Oh.
more Square Enix.
Fuck. All right, I remember the Capcom thing now. To be fair, all right. Oh, and the last fucking thing they talked about at Capcom, they were talking about they were doing a plug for Street Fighter V esports tournaments, and they talked. That was very unnecessary for E3, but whatever. That's just my opinion. And to be fair, they did highlight all four of the games they were gonna talk about in their conference, like before the video even started. Like they were talking about on Twitter, like, look, we're gonna tell you some shit about Street Fighter V, the 2 Monster Hunter games, and Ace Attorney.
Can we hustle this along, please?
And
My brain is melting.
they never said they were gonna announce anything.
Well, they should have announced things anyway.
If they weren't going to
Okay.
announce anything, they shouldn't have showed up. End of story.
Yeah, next company.
Nintendo,
Okay.
who
So Sony,
Actually-
Here we go.
did good shit.
No
yeah, God
Sony?
of War Ragnarok. It
Oh,
looked really good.
yeah, I forgot Sony existed.
Wait, Sony?
The Ape Escape, the Ape Escape remake they showed off. It really, I've never seen monkeys look that good. In
What the
video
fuck are you talking about? Ape Escape remake, fucking new God of War. Are you joking right now? This is.
And then they did the whole Metal Gear 6 thing.
I
you were
don't see
watching it,
Sony
right?
on this score sheet. What the fuck are you talking about? You're just pulling my leg.
You're right. I'm pulling it under you.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
dragging it
Bloodborne
underneath my
2.
bed.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah,
didn't call it
Bloodborne
that. They
card
called
is
it-
finally coming out.
Finally, fuck.
They called it Bloodborne Spark of Hope.
They called it Seaborn. That's what they would have done.
They called it We Are Third Pieces.
Okay.
Like Yawnborn.
Why are we making up an E3 conference when we still got one to talk about?
All right, Nintendo.
Yeah, they announced WarioWare and nothing else.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. To
The only
Bandai
thing I
Namco.
want them was Fire Emblem, and I didn't get it, so I don't fucking care.
All right. Here's what I was gonna say earlier about fucking Elden Ring. So it looks like Dark Souls, and that's kind of it. It looks like really good Dark Souls. Like it doesn't look bad or anything. There's some interesting enemy designs and such, but overall it looks like a Dark Souls 4. And that is kind of how SMT5 looks. It's like, okay, this is Shin Megami Tensei. This is what you expect. Kind of nothing too adventurous in its new takes, but it still looks like it's going to deliver quality. And like I've said before regarding games, where like when I played through all those fucking Mega Man games, I think if you are able to like just innovate just enough with the fucking formula, you don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. Like if it's not broke, don't fucking fix it. It's still a good game. You're still making new quality content. And now I breathe air.
Who is Sheldon Ring?
Imagine if From Software could make a game that isn't Dark Souls for once. I'd be fucking amazed.
They made Armored Core a long time ago. Okay, so
I don't even know what that is.
I like WarioWare. This new fucking WarioWare looks fucking weird. I don't know. Like I'm probably gonna get it because I want a WarioWare on Switch, but it's not what I would expect.
Yeah, they. I watched the Treehouse play WarioWare. It was pretty short, like 15 minutes worth of gameplay, because you could run through entire WarioWare like session pretty quick.
Yeah.
Since
Takes
everything's
to beat a
themed.
game.
And they wouldn't even go through all the 9-volt mini games that have all the cool video game cameos, because they're like, we'll let you see those later. So they only did 3 of those, and like, I want to say they played like 10 micro games. It was just a taste. I liked what I saw. I liked how when you're playing co-op, each person can pick 3 characters, and they all have different movement properties and ways they control.
I think I have faith in the WarioWare team. I don't think they've ever put out a bad game as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Even though I only played Touched in the original on GBA.
Oh shit, you know what I didn't fucking see? I didn't see the fucking Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. How does it look? Same thing? Same game?
They covered new runes, and they showed off Sky Islands. They give you those Skyward Sword vibes.
Yeah, Robot, you like Sky Islands, right? You like
Sky Islands. I love Aether. I love that old cartoon Skyland. But what I don't like is a game franchise with an identity crisis. So I probably won't be getting that game.
Yeah, it sounds
They
like,
also have a flamethrower.
based on what you said, it sounds like Breath of the Wild 2 is in fact Breath of the Wild 2. So, it doesn't really sound
The
too appealing to
flamethrower
me.
is cool. I will give you that.
There's a lot of theories floating around about what's actually happening with the premise and all.
Well, it's probably
some
going to be
people
less interesting than what the theories are about. It is Zelda after all.
Yeah, because everybody desperately wants something to do with time travel.
Or Majora. I've seen that in my recommended, where people are just theorizing away.
And I read some interviews regarding that. Basically, the response was, it is like, it's not trying to do so and so from like, other games like Majora's Mask and stuff. It is its own thing, and it tells me nothing at all.
Okay.
What else?
Kazuya, no, not fucking Kiryu. Yeah, Kazuya though got announced for Smash, and I think if this was like, maybe even like, I don't know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, like I think that'd be really cool. Even if I wasn't too much into Tekken at the time, as much as I am now. Like I'm still not huge into Tekken, just I play it sometimes. But I kind of want to say this only happened because Bandai Namco also does Smash. And they do both series.
I mean, Pac-Man's in Smash.
Yeah. And now Kazuya is. And
I'm,
it's not a surprise in any way, I guess, because of that. Because it's like, Ryu got in and fucking... Goddamn, what's his name?
Terry.
Yeah, Terry
Bogard. Terry Bogard, which is the funniest fucking name. I'm happy they picked Kazuya as a...
Fatal Fury, my bad. Fucking goddamn it.
But, like, putting Smash Ultimate next to PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, how they had young Heihachi as a rep in that game, I'm glad they did not do that in Smash Ultimate and use Kazuya Mishima, who's probably one of the more interesting picks, just because, he's really edgy. Yeah, and he does the devil form thing.
Well, he's like both the protagonist and the antagonist at the same time in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like, Jin is, like, he's an antagonist for, like, one game, but he's, like, mainly a protagonist kind of guy. Heihachi's Heihachi.
I think, yeah, Jin would have been overkill. Kazuya is just the right amount of salt to put in there.
Amount of moral grayness.
Yeah, I love the whole bit they had where he was just chucking defeated enemies into a volcano.
I did find that to be amusing. The fucking stinger with Kirby at the end. Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's faithful. You can do a 10-hit combo. It's like, hey, we put a fighting game character in the game again, and this one actually has like combos.
Godfist, yeah.
And he has like what is that little thing he does? He's a dash, like a little crouch dash that he can do. that nobody else can do.
Pretty fancy.
Like, yeah, so he's gonna move differently. He's gonna hit different. He's probably gonna chain different. You know, it's just.
I have a feeling he's gonna be like Little Mac, and he's gonna be low to the ground, and he can't jump much, and he's because to make up for.
Oh God.
Which I don't think is a bad idea because we need more characters like that after fucking everyone can fucking fly now in this new game. But speaking of Bandai Namco, has anyone here actually watched the Bandai Namco press conference?
I went to fucking bed when that came on. I took a nap.
Wait, I didn't know it existed.
Don't they make toys?
So no one here.
I know
What
they
the fuck do they
did more
do?
Tales of Arise stuff, but I didn't realize that was part of a conference.
I feel
Don't
like
they
there's a
also
bunch
make
of weeb
snacks
shit.
too? No, I'm thinking of Nabisco.
Yeah, Tales is weeb shit. I mean, the most I know about Bandai Namco is, you know, like anime games, Tekken, Tales, Pac-Man.
I know about their fucking anime knockoff games. Like I'm playing Code Vein right now.
They
just a
made that?
fucking- Yeah, that's a
I mean, like,
fucking
what
Souls knockoff.
games?
And they made Tekken too? Shit, I didn't know that.
Well,
They make all the
Tekken
Dragon
isn't
Ball
a knockoff,
games.
but yeah, they do have Tekken, which is why I was saying like, is that why Kazuya's in Smash? Because they have both. They're both working on both those games.
Yeah,
It
no,
is,
on my report card, I just left an empty chair as the My Face win category because I wasn't fucking there.
Thinking about what they're going to do for the final Smash character, because they confirmed that this would be the final DLC character coming up.
Why are they
Bandai
ending it
makes
so soon?
Smash.
Yeah, it's like a co-developed thing.
Yeah. They had their logo in the game.
They did it for 4 too.
Probably just like a money thing.
I don't
That
know.
would still
Nintendo's
give them a
pretty
say.
like Nintendo's pretty good at forcing people to make cool shit for them. I don't know. Especially when I think about the GameCube era.
Yeah, too bad they can't fucking get Sega to make a new F-Zero game.
That'd
Yeah,
be
you're
fun.
looking forward to that one. When's the last time they made one of those games? That's the one with Captain Falcon, right?
2003. It's been 18
Oh, no.
years.
No, actually, the last F-Zero game was for
Arcade.
Nintendo
We
Land.
don't count that one.
Nintendo
We
Land,
don't
yeah.
count Climax.
Wii.
It didn't come out in America.
No. You got little stock cars in Nintendo Land game. That was pretty cool.
Shut up, Brent.
That's the game where Falcon guy comes from, right?
Yes, Captain Falcon.
No,
Yeah,
it
the
comes
guy
from
that
Melee.
got-
Oh, okay.
No, he comes from 64, Wesker. Get your fucking lore straight.
Sorry, I started with Melee, so I just assumed he came with the one.
Oh, right.
Because my
Didn't
mind
they
is the
really,
entire world.
Didn't they really push that game to be like their next like big thing, and then they just never did anything?
Which
with
game?
it? F-Zero.
Not really.
I'm thinking of something
It
else.
was just a big deal, like
It was
during the Super
definitely
Nintendo.
ambitious and impressive.
It was cool because it had arcade machine tie-in.
And he doesn't actually punch people in that game, does he?
He shoots
No.
people in the anime.
He punches people in the he has a Falcon punch in the anime.
Did the
He's apparently a bounty hunter.
did Smash
Which I don't-
come before?
I don't
Yes,
believe
Smash
it.
came before his Falcon punch in the anime.
Okay.
So that's where they got the idea. They
So
got
whenever
it
I
from
think of Captain
Smash.
Falcon, I think of him shooting people.
He has
I
a
know he's
gun,
always had like. Oh, he does.
but he
Yeah,
doesn't use it.
It's in
a
Smash.
fucking
Like he
crazy.
has a holster for it. He has it holstered.
Oh, I just know the manual says like he's a bounty hunter.
He is a
and
bounty hunter.
Yeah,
I don't understand how racing cars is gonna help him.
it's like a hobby, I think.
It's something he does in his spare time.
Oh, all right. It's not actually relevant. Gotcha.
F-Zero is
It's
kind
just
of weird.
F-Zero's
Yeah, it-
story is very wacky, as were things of that time period.
I miss that
Oh.
era. I want more wacky Japanese stuff, and I'm glad WarioWare still exists for that.
Wah.
Wah. I
Like the
F-Zero 'cause
F-Zero
it's like-
GX story incorporates Falcon's racing into his career, so into his bounty hunting career, so it ties it together in that capacity. They also settle disputes by racing.
They're gonna say racism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that too.
All right.
I love their energy because like they're like wrestlers behind the wheel. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
They are, I mean, there is that one mission in F-Zero GX where you just you get accosted by a gang and you kill all of them by running them off the road.
As God intended.
So that's what Captain Falcon does, I guess.
He does whatever the fuck he wants, as long as he's getting paid.
Pretty much.
Well,
He does get a lot of attention in Smash, unfortunately.
nobody knows anything about Bandai Namco, so I think that's it for E3, guys. Like,
Yeah.
What?
probably
No.
one of the worst ones in a long time. Like you.
It
Yeah.
is. That wasn't
What?
unexpected, having come back from the whole, Sony leaving, and then Corona happened. and
Which,
there's just-
by the way, speaking of that, I know there were a lot of dates released for these games. Just remember,
Oh,
with the quarantine shit going on and all that nonsense, take those dates they give you and just expect it to be delayed.
Yeah.
It's almost
and that was actually like my next thing. I was gonna say I was impressed with the Nintendo Direct because they, like going into it, I didn't expect a whole lot because they were just like, we're mostly going to like cover games that are coming out this year. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. Probably shit that's already been announced. But they announced new games that will be coming out this year, like Metroid Dread and WarioWare, that Mario Party fucking game. That what SMT? When is that coming out?
November.
Yeah,
Probably gonna
like
pre-order it.
yeah, Nintendo actually did the E3 thing that I like, where they announce upcoming games, not like games for 2023.
All right, but SMT5 was already announced, and we just now finally got a date though.
Yeah, they talked about it. They gave us a release date.
They showed
I'm happy.
gameplay. Holy shit! Wow.
Yeah.
They showed an entire little battle. In a
Yeah,
JRPG.
they showed that androgynous-looking character that I can't tell is male or
Oh,
female.
that's definitely a male, but I've seen some fan art. Anyways,
Yeah, you got it.
Yep.